Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Macrocast, your source for news and entertainment with the minds behind Macro Records. We're your hosts. I'm Madsen.
I'm Downlow'd, and we're back once again.
We have a lot of shit this week, like so much stuff to talk about. We're going to be
amazing stuff.
We're going to be talking about the Emmys.
We're talking about the good, the bad, the ridiculous.
Season premieres of lots of the great shows kicked off this week.
We've kept up with pretty much all of them. At least I have. I don't know about you.
We have some movie and video game news, and a lot of.
We'll
cool
probably
stuff.
end up talking about comics a little bit.
Maybe
we usually do.
Well,
so we'll see what happens.
We've got a lot to get to this week.
We're going to talk about classic books.
No,
we're going to talk about news. Some news stories.
No
news stories this week?
No.
There's been no news at all. The Emmys did happen.
There's nothing really to talk about, like in real world news. But yeah, we have tons of stuff. Real quick, macro news. The track you're hearing before the podcast is going to be the Oscar Green remix of LSD, and at the end of the podcast, you'll hear the Crystal Vision remix.
A nice, warm filling. That song's about pastries.
We've played them both for you guys already. We previewed them earlier this month, but now they're finally out. The first remix EP is out today, exclusively on Beatport. So
some
go
really
pick that
awesome
up.
Tracks by some awesome up-and-coming artists, and
Yeah.
You guys should go pick it up. Support those guys.
If you enjoyed the podcast, please don't forget to go on iTunes and leave us a review. It'll be most appreciated. Helps get the show into the ears of other listeners, and we'll read out your review on the show. So don't forget.
If you also think of something that we're talking about on the show, make sure to tweet us and hashtag the Macrocast.
Yep.
Or you can feel free to post on our Facebook page at facebook.com/themacrocast.
Yep.
We've got all kinds of good stuff on there.
So let's jump in.
Yeah.
Emmys. Let's talk about the winners.
This is not real world news because the Emmys didn't really happen.
What?
Only in our our minds.
They happened, but it's.
You were like, "There's no real world news on this podcast."
I meant like there's no Russia hasn't threatened to nuke us or some shit
Thank
like
God.
that. You know.
Russia. Do you think the Russians were watching the Emmys? I didn't.
I mean,
watch
I'm
the
sure
Emmys.
there were Russians watching the Emmys.
Oh my God.
I don't know if
like
the entire country, if Putin's Joint Chiefs of Staff were all watching the Emmys.
Okay, well, I bet Putin was watching the Emmys.
Yeah.
So you watched
Do you
the
think
Emmys.
he voted for House of Cards?
Dude, the last season had like that guy who was kind
It's
of like
supposed to be Putin.
I think that Putin. Now it's Putin.
It's Putin. I just said it wrong. It's Putin.
God. Okay, so you did watch the Emmys, right?
Yes.
And I did not watch the Emmys. I know about certain things, though. I know that Jane Lynch was the shame nun.
From Game of Thrones.
Did you follow through with that?
No. It was totally just a one-off joke. I don't think anyone took too long on their speech either, though. Everyone is pretty succinct, and I think
concise.
Some people were worried. They were like, "Oh, I better hurry up and get the hell off here."
Dude, I really wish that they would have followed through with that, and one person takes too long, and Jane Lynch is like, shame! Shame!
Andy Samberg was a great host.
He was the host?
Yeah. He did a good job.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
I like him. I think that it's funny because you listen to the Lonely Island stuff, and that stuff is all really well produced, and just it's really proper. He's a talented dude.
And he's got Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I don't
think
watch
that show?
No, but it's supposed to be a really good show. I think it was nominated for an Emmy or two.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about. We talked about some of the nominations last week. Are we going to talk a little bit about who won?
Yeah. Outstanding drama series. Some of the big ones were Game of Thrones.
We talked about them all
House of
last
Cards.
week.
Yeah.
Go back to last week's episode if you want to hear all the nominees.
So the winner of Outstanding Drama Series was Game of Thrones. I mean,
that's kind of a no-brainer.
No big surprise there.
I think we both said that Game of Thrones would be one of them.
Yeah. Outstanding Comedy Series was Veep. Veep actually took... HBO in general won a lot of awards.
Well, big ups Time Warner Cable. They own HBO.
Yeah. Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series was John Hamm for Madman. I was hoping for Liev Schreiber, but...
yeah, because we like Ray Donovan. But I've watched all of Mad Men, too, and I think that... I'm not sure if he's won an Emmy for that show yet, but it's kind of
he has.
It's kind of a good send-off for him because it was his last season of Mad Men. I did watch the last season of Mad Men, and I was not fond of it. Mm-hmm. I thought that the last episode tied up way too many loose ends, and it was just there were a lot of caveats. It didn't really make sense. There was if you haven't watched the last season of Mad Men, I'm not going to spoil too much, but John Hamm just ends up being a hippie, and it's like, what the fuck? And they kill off some characters. We never get to find out what happens to a lot of the characters that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So that's. I mean, there was just too much in that show going on. It was a serious period drama with a lot of fucking loose ends. Like, even from the first season, they never tied up. There's an article online that you guys can look up about all of the loose ends that were left in the Mad Men series. And even the writers were like, some of them were like, well, damn, how are we going to do this? So they had to do a list of bullet points on what they actually wanted to tie up.
Yeah.
And there were like 40 bullet points that they couldn't even get to.
Yeah,
That's kind of sad. It seems like
that's
they could
kind of what happens though with the show that it's been going on for 4 or 5 years already, and it's really the writing has always been really in depth like that on Mad Men. Like there's always been sort of stuff that's not necessarily in the foreground but is important. And
but you see it's noticeably like happening.
Yeah.
Like what I feel like it's kind of good though because. What would they have done otherwise? They would have made like a 6-episode last season just to tie up all the loose ends, and then it would have been like really lame,
Yeah.
Like some other TV shows have done that. You're not a huge fan, but Warehouse 13 did that because fans demanded to know what happened to these characters. So they made like a 6-episode ending season, which was just kind of like,
Yeah.
We got to see Pete and Micah hook up in the end though, which was kind of gratifying for me because. The guy who plays that was also in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he was
He played a Kree.
Yeah, he played the Kree. I forgot, but he's like not even. He hasn't gotten like another acting job.
No.
They were like, "Oh, you're the guy from Warehouse 13." I hated that show. None of those actors have been in other things.
Outstanding lead actress in a drama series. I think our pick was Claire Danes for Homeland.
Yeah, I like Claire Danes. God damn it, Carrie.
But Viola Davis won for How to Get Away with Murder, which is.
We both racked on that show so hard last week.
We did?
Yeah, you were like, it's like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but just lame.
Without Marvel. No.
It's like as if no one had superpowers and just... I saw...
It's a well done show. I mean, and Viola Davis is a great actress.
It's on ABC, right?
Yeah.
ABC's How
She's
to Get Away with
playing Amanda Waller in Suicide Squad.
Great.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of previews, like, so when I drum, I have my headphones plugged into my iPhone, and I'll just drum to tracks off YouTube that I like. And there are a bunch of previews that have been fed to me just from ABC over the past week. I don't know.
Well, because all their shows are kicking back up this week.
They have a bunch of new shows coming. They have, like, a Quantico show. And then they have another show that's about like drug lords or something like that. I don't know.
NBC has a new show too, where it's Jamie Alexander who plays Lady Sif in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Thor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's in some new show as well on NBC. Blind Spot. Yeah,
okay.
That's what it's called.
What is that show about?
I don't know. Some chick with tattoos wakes up in the middle of a street or some
okay,
shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is the other show that's coming out on ABC. It's called like Oil Money, or it's like Returning.
Blood and Oil.
Blood and Oil.
It's a shitty ripoff of Dallas, is what it is. I don't know if you're familiar with Dallas.
Did you ever watch that show Revenge?
No.
That show's gotten like really good reviews.
It's on Netflix. I see it all the time.
I have no interest in watching that
yeah.
either, though. It's like it seems like a total chick drama, which is cool. That's cool, but not for me.
Outstanding lead actor in a comedy series. The winner was Jeffrey Tambor for Transparent, which I still haven't watched.
So wait, Jeffrey Tambor is also in Arrested Development, right? He's George Bluth.
I haven't watched enough Arrested Development to comment on that.
Dude, Arrested Development's a great show.
Outstanding lead actress in a comedy series was Julia Louis-Dreyfus for Veep.
That won a bunch of awards, huh?
It won a ton of awards. Outstanding supporting actor in a drama series. The winner was Peter Dinklage for Game of Thrones. I thought that was a deserving win.
He sent me a message. Alex sent me a message saying the Dinklage won.
The Dink.
The Dink, yeah.
Outstanding supporting actress in a drama series. Uzo Aduba won for Orange is the New Black.
Oh yeah, I saw that on. Yeah, Jeffrey Tambor was in Arrested Development, but yeah, I saw that on Netflix. They were like another win for. She's won previously. Yeah. She won last year as well, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's like really the best actress in that show. I mean,
she won for supporting actress.
Yeah,
not
but
for lead.
I mean, that show is like the lead is the woman who plays Piper Chapman.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's what's her name again?
Uzo Aduba?
I don't know if she is the best supporting actress on that show, but I don't know.
She plays Crazy Eyes, right?
Yeah, she plays Crazy Eyes. You know who I think is really good on that show is okay. So we've been watching Fear the Walking Dead. I forgot. I don't know any of the characters' names, but the father, he had his ex-wife. She is also in Orange Is the New Black. And I forgot her name in the show, but she's very good.
How about the last week's episode, man? That was some fucked up shit the way it ended.
The last week's episode was about them. They figured out that the military is not like who they seem.
I love the first 2 episodes of the show, but now they've kind of glossed over the part I most wanted to see. Like, I wanted to see the fall of LA and the fall of the world, but now it's like they skipped 9 days, man.
Well, I still think that all of that stuff's happening, but they make it seem like they told all of the people that it's already done with. Obviously,
but now it's focused on this whole conspiracy around the military, which is kind of not as satisfying.
It could be good. Of course, it's like a Walking Dead show, so they have to have some kind of story arc like that.
But the whole thing was like I was excited to see them take it slow, you know, because
you wanted to see. You would have been satisfied if they actually got to leave and weren't like locked down there.
Well, not even that, but show us what happened outside the walls instead of saying like, "Oh, everyone's dead."
Like you
guys are the only people alive in the entire LA
That's
County.
Clearly not true.
Well, yeah. From what we saw.
I mean, it's still not crazy like Walking Dead, like, shit's on fire, fuck, like, you know, but maybe that still is gonna happen. Maybe there's a bunch of people, like, what you want to see is people, like, jumping out of Capitol Records and
all
shit.
I'm saying is we went from people, like, not understanding what was going on to the next day being like, oh, everyone's dead, the military's already razed the fucking entire city, and everyone's gone. And it's kind of like, it's really not satisfying.
What's her name just got pissed and walked outside the fucking fence.
Yeah.
And she was like, fuck it. And she saw a corpse and she was like, I was like, oh my god.
Well, she saw the military going through the streets, like, burning shit.
I mean, they could have, like, they're like, this woman is Andrea.
But wait,
you know?
Okay, another bullshit thing is, like, the Coast Guard in 9 days have turned from, like, the people who are supposed to protect us if shit goes down like this to these complete and utter fascist assholes. It really is like it's kind of unrealistic.
They kind of had it feels like they had the understanding that they knew exactly what they were going to do when they got there. They were like, we're Coast Guard, we're going to kill everyone.
Yeah, we're going to keep you in your homes. We're going
to just for the sake of the plot, we're going to start killing people that aren't infected,
and we're going to like kidnap people and like it's kind of crazy.
What's her son's name? He got taken.
Nick.
Yeah, Nick. She's like, Nick, no.
and the guy, the Mexican dude, they took his wife.
Yeah. And I mean, that was like a pretty brutal scene.
Yeah.
But Nick was fucking doing that guy's heroin, man.
Yeah, he was stealing it. And I had to rewatch that scene because at first I didn't like... I saw it and I was like, what the fuck is he doing down there? And I saw he had stolen the IV from the dude and put it in between his toes.
Yeah, or it was in between his fingers, wasn't it?
His toes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that poor guy was like suffering up there because he didn't have any more morphine coming into his blood.
Nick doesn't care. He was like wrecked. LOL. Wrecked.
And his mom just like starts slapping the shit out of him.
She like beat that part. Okay, and then after that, what didn't really make sense is like Nick is like crying in the bathroom, or he's like really upset, and it's like, dude, like you know,
and now
what you were
his sister, who is like. Literally every single episode she's hated him. Now she's consoling him.
Now she's carving her like into her arm.
Yeah, she was like poking herself. It was weird.
That didn't like so. Now that I'm thinking about it, so much shit in that episode was really just weird.
I literally said to myself, "Why is this chick cutting herself?"
It didn't make sense.
Like Is it because her boyfriend died?
That's what it was, because she was writing to her boyfriend.
To him, yeah.
But it's like, dude, don't you know that your boyfriend fucking died like easily 9 days ago? He was dead when you saw him.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of like lazy character
guaranteed
a little bit.
Guaranteed, I'm calling it right now, we're gonna see her boyfriend again, and she's gonna be like, oh my god, wait, come here. She's gonna be like, you're okay, you're safe.
And then he bites her and she's fucking dead.
Do you think that she's gonna be one of the ones to go?
I think know.
It would be good if they kept her as like a strong character.
I like her.
I want the mom to die.
No!
Dude, I fucking hate her.
No, dude, no.
I'm so sick of it.
She's like the best character.
Oh, dude, and what now it was like so like such foreshadowing when he was like, you gotta take care of my daughter. Like, they're not gonna come back.
No.
They're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
He was good, though. He was a good actor.
Okay, so let's keep going before we get too off track. Outstanding supporting actress in a comedy series, Allison Janney won for Mom. I think she's...
Wait, what?
Allison Janney?
She won for Mom?
A show called Mom.
Oh.
It's made by Chuck Lorre, same dude who makes Big Bang Theory.
Oh. When I was in a frat, we had a frat brother named Kevin Mom.
Yeah.
And we used to call him Mom.
Outstanding supporting actor in a comedy series was Tony Hale for Veep. Outstanding miniseries was Olive Kittredge, which was an HBO miniseries that I have not seen. But
I feel like I should just really start watching Veep.
Have you seen Olive Kittredge? It won a lot of awards, and it's got like Bill Murray and all sorts of people.
Oh no!
Yeah,
it sounds like you're saying something that you're not saying though. Have you seen Olive Kittredge?
Olive Kittredge.
Is it olive like the food?
Yeah.
Okay.
Outstanding television movie Bessie on HBO, which was the one.
What the fuck?
It was Queen Latifah.
Do you think that? Do you think that it's rigged? Like, do you think that the Emmys are like... Because, like, HBO was like, listen, we'll give you guys, like, $30 million.
Okay, wait. First of all, this category was Outstanding Television Movie, and I haven't seen any of them. It's kind of a shitty category to begin with.
Well, I mean, they won a bunch of other awards.
Yeah,
but it gives you...
But that was like Game of Thrones and Veep, which are really well-loved
It's still...
well,
okay, what about Olive Kittredge?
But see, it's like an art piece apparently. This Olive Kittredge, and it's got people like Bill Murray in it, man.
It's still incentive. Well, that kind of goes to show that it's probably a good thing because Bill Murray only works on what he wants to work on. But at the same time, like, it still incentivizes like the audiences to watch stuff that's on. Hey, maybe I should get HBO because they won all these Emmys.
Yeah.
And HBO is going to go whip their dick out and be like the winner of 67 Emmy awards. No one else won any other Emmys, and just like blast Showtime in the face with a load of hot cum.
Outstanding variety talk series, The Daily Show won.
That's Jon Stewart. That's another good
season.
That's a good send off for Jon Stewart.
Yeah. Outstanding writing for a variety series was also The Daily Show, and outstanding directing for a comedy series was also The Daily Show.
What is Jon Stewart going to do? He's going to do now? He's going to host something else.
He's going to be hosting the World News on NBC.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He took over for Brian Williams, the guy who was a liar. The guy who lied about everything.
He was a liar.
He was like, I was there.
He clearly was. Someone discredited him like that.
He made up some story about how he was in Afghanistan on a Black Hawk helicopter with this one military unit, and people spoke up. They were like, he wasn't there.
Someone was like, Mr. Williams, you were very clearly covering a dog show in New York City.
Yeah. Outstanding variety sketch series, Inside Amy Schumer won.
I hate that title.
The Voice won for outstanding reality competition.
La Voz?
I mean, The Voice is like the only reality TV show I actually like compared to the rest of these.
It's like what American Idol was the first couple seasons.
I never liked American Idol.
Dude, the first season of American Idol was really good. With
What's
Kelly
cool
Clarkson.
about The Voice is like the judges don't just judge. Like they take people under their wing and fucking coach them to win, you know? And it's all about winning for those coaches. There's even the rivalry between Adam, what's his last name?
Savage.
The dude from
Adam
Maroon
Savage.
5.
Maroon Pie. It's Adam. I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, him and Blake Shelton have like this rivalry.
That's so dumb. That's so TV, dude. They're like, someone was like, "Listen, Adam, you're gonna have a rivalry with Blake Shelton," and he was like, "But I like that guy. We like drink whiskey together." No, you're gonna have a rivalry.
And then they were like, "Okay, Blake Shelton, your character on the show is gonna be kind of like the drunk asshole.
Yeah.
So go ahead and play that."
He's like, "I'm sober. I've been sober for 12 years." Yeah. But that I don't know. I think that the first season of American Idol, like, think about it. What stars or people that won American Idol have really gone on to do like huge
Kelly
stuff?
Clarkson.
Didn't Carrie Underwood also win American Idol?
She won American Idol?
I think so.
Oh, I thought she just came out of nowhere.
Well, that's kind of the same thing, right? Kelly Clarkson is definitely
Clay
the biggest.
Aiken was probably the second biggest.
What the fuck is Clay Aiken doing?
I'm speaking in terms of the winners. He's probably the second most well known.
No,
Justin. What's the other guy's name?
Justin Guarini or whatever. The guy that. Okay, so
he had a duo thing going with Kelly Clarkson at one point.
No, dude, they fucking made a terrible movie called From Justin to Kelly. It was a fucking horrible, like, musical movie. And it was, I don't know, like, they produced it for a huge... Dude, it was just, like, straight to video.
Ruben Studdard?
What the fuck is he doing?
I don't know.
Fantasia?
Yeah.
Like, she's not doing anything, dude.
I don't know.
Chris Daughtry won.
Yeah.
Adam... some other guy named Adam won. I think Carrie Underwood's probably the second biggest one, but Kelly Clarkson is without a doubt the biggest person to come off American Idol. Like, she's a superstar.
Yeah.
She's probably... Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I was going to say she's probably the most talented one, too, but I actually do like some of Kelly Clarkson's songs. I'm like, damn, this girl has pipes. Okay, so Emmys. Back to the Emmys. More Emmys.
I don't think we're going to... Outstanding writing for a drama series. Game of Thrones won for the episode Mother's Mercy.
What, did George R.R. Martin win that and go up on stage?
You know, I think George R.R. Martin kind of looked miffed, like, a little bit.
What does that mean?
Like,
I don't
a
know
little
what that
pissed
means.
off.
Oh.
Look, when they won for best drama, he, like... D&D, the creators of the show, didn't even thank George R.R. Martin.
Oh,
and then he was, like, standing there, and I think he felt a little awkward, like, damn, these motherfuckers took all the credit. I created this whole universe.
Yeah. George R.R. Martin was mostly probably miffed that they called it a drama series. He was like, dude, I thought I've been writing comedy this whole time. That's why I've been killing off characters like nothing matters. So what else? What other ones won? Anything really good?
See. Olive Kittredge won more awards.
Dude,
we
enough about Olive Kittredge.
We covered pretty much all the good awards.
Who is Olive Kittredge? All of that makes me think of is Popeye's wife, Olive, or his girlfriend. And she's always like, her name is Olive Oil, yeah, that's right. But she's always like getting raped.
What?
Like that big guy from Popeye is like always grabbing her and like running. He's like, I'm gonna rape your girlfriend, Popeye. And Popeye's like, no, you can't rape my girlfriend.
Wait, she's like, she's getting sexually harassed.
Dude, well, what?
Not raped.
No, dude, he's gonna rape her.
Oh my god.
There's no, like, you never really consider that when you're, like, reading or watching Popeye, but he's like, oh, I'm gonna, like, just smooch her and stuff. Like, that's not all that's gonna happen, dude. That guy's gonna fucking...
Smooch.
Yeah, that's what it was back then. And Popeye has to eat that spinach. Dude, they should make a real-life Popeye where he's, like, he has to shoot up steroids.
Wait, I thought... a lot of people have speculated that Popeye actually has some sort of terrible disease, and, like... He's got a tumor on his brain, so that's why half of his body looks all fucked up.
Dude, that's terrible.
Yeah.
His like...
Pretty dark.
And that's why his arms are like...
Yeah.
He's like a mongoloid.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. But how does he... Okay, how does he have a girlfriend? Like, obviously, Olive Oil is pretty fucking hot because, you know, like, this other guy's like, I want to bang you so bad, Olive Oil. You know?
I don't think he ever says that.
Well, dude, if he's literally picking her up and running away with her. Like, she's hitting him, she's like, Popeye, save me, you know? I don't know why we're talking about Popeye.
Well, I mean, you could say the same thing about Donkey Kong kidnapping Princess Peach, you know? It's like, what is he gonna do to her?
That's a different thing. That's like kind of a King Kong thing. Like, he just wants to... He doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
I mean, Donkey Kong is like... Is Donkey Kong like a...
What happened to that terrible King Kong movie with Jack Black?
That was directed by Peter Jackson.
Oh, it's so bad.
I thought it was okay. It had its moments.
Yeah.
It wasn't...
Visually, it looked great.
Yeah, but that was... Okay, so Peter Jackson was just coming off, I think, the success of the first Lord of the Rings.
Weren't they going to make a sequel to that King Kong movie?
Unnecessary. I think they kind of came to their senses and they were like, you know what,
we probably shouldn't do this.
Yeah, it's probably... I don't know. What would really... Like, what would the sequel be? Like, our protagonist, King Kong, meets Godzilla or some shit.
Wasn't that the one where they kidnapped him and took him to New York, right? King Kong? And they, like, put him on display in a theater or some shit?
Yeah, and then he broke out and
climbed the Empire State Building.
Who was King Kong's love interest?
Oh god, I can't even remember.
It was like Claire Danes?
No, it was not Claire Danes.
They that is such an iconic film, but it's so weird to think about like that ape totally wanted to just like have.
It was Naomi Watts.
Oh, great! Yeah, she's like a fucking mediocre. But she like that's just such a weird idea to think that ape just wanted to have rough sex with that woman.
Who isn't Naomi Watts married to? Oh, she's married to Liev Schreiber. That's right.
Is she really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Not so me. Well, okay. Cool. I like Liev Schreiber, so hey, I'll give you credit.
Let's jump back into TV news and talk about some of the TV news that we missed last week and some of the new stuff this week. We've seen Skye's costume as officially Quake now
from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, this upcoming season, which starts tomorrow.
Okay. It does? That's great. I'm stoked for that. It looks good. Her outfit, like the costume looks good. It looks fine.
Yeah.
It's very like grounded. It's not.
Well, what's cool about it is it very much looks like her outfit in the comics.
Oh, it does?
Like it's very, very close. Especially the gauntlets, which is like how she channels her
That
power.
was in the last season too. She had
Well,
those.
they were
kind of
like prototypes, but now she's got the real deal, I think.
If this season is slow, I'm going to be so pissed.
I
It's like the first episode is just all exposition. I think that a lot of TV shows this season, from what I've seen from this last week, have just started off so strong.
Yeah.
And I'm really cool with that. Like, hopefully they just jump right in. And
Speaking of strong starts, let's talk about the season premiere of Doctor Who. The second episode was 2 nights ago. I haven't watched it yet.
I forgot about that.
But you've watched the first episode.
I watch everything on Sunday and Monday, really.
We've both seen the first episode.
Yeah, I saw the first episode.
It was really good.
It's a 2-parter, right?
Yeah, the next part was what this past episode from
So
Saturday.
if you're a Doctor Who fan and you really know like about the lore of Doctor Who, they've kind of introduced. I think they're gonna have Davros as like the main villain for this like season.
I don't think this season. I think just this 2-parter.
Oh, really?
I think we'll see the conclusion on this second episode.
Hopefully they don't have what's her name? Not Mickey.
Missy?
Missy.
The master.
The mistress.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's not like the villain again for the whole season. Like I kind of
what
like her being an accomplice, but
I
like
totally
an antihero.
dug that, where she was like helping Clara this first
She's
episode.
her as an anti-hero works better than us seeing the typical master bullshit happening. Like, I'm gonna take over the world again.
And I loved how she's
Missy,
like,
you're so fine.
she's like, she told Clara, like, oh, you think you're the Doctor's best friend?
Yeah.
I'm his best friend. Like, I've known him forever.
That was a cool twist.
Yeah.
And it's just different. I like her as being, she's like a real flamboyant kind of, she's an anti-hero at this point, which is cool.
Did you ever watch the 10-minute short?
I did.
Oh, and
where his servant was like, "What are you doing, sir?"
And I love how it was tied into this first episode. Like, it was pretty important. The Doctor spent the whole first 10 minutes playing the guitar.
Yeah, I was going to say, we saw
cool,
Capaldi shredding. Well, I think that he was really playing, too, which is cool.
Yeah.
Capaldi's like...
Wasn't he in a band with Craig Ferguson?
Was he?
Yes.
I
think he was.
Actually, probably a band I would pay to see.
They were like a punk band back in the day.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So the Doctor kept making all of these references in the first episode. I think that this season is going to be where Capaldi's Doctor really comes into his own.
Yeah.
Whereas last season was all kind of exposition for this season. I'm still like, Clara seemed a little bit cooler in this first episode, but I'm still like, they keep bringing up Mr. Pink.
You know, I'm okay with Clara, but what I really...
I'm over her.
If she's not gone by the end of this season, I'm going to have trouble watching next season. We need a new companion.
We need a better companion.
And I love Peter Capaldi, but it's almost that time again for a new Doctor, you know? Like,
I mean, they could keep the Doctor for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
But
this is the second one, so...
But the Doctor typically goes through 2 companions.
At least, I mean, well, the companion, she was in half of season 7, all of season 8, and now all of season 9. So 2.5 seasons. I think the only one who's got her beat is Rose in terms of...
but she's not nearly as good as Rose or even Amy and Rory.
No,
or even Donna. Like, she has nothing on it. Like, Clara is probably my least favorite.
Even Martha.
Dude, yeah. Clara started off so strong, too. And
well, I think...
With her being in the Daleks and...
What I think what happened is... She had that love interest thing going with Matt Smith, with that Doctor.
And then they killed that.
Which was interesting, but then as soon as he was gone and changed his face to this old fucking man, it's like...
now they had to change the whole dynamic.
Yeah.
For some reason, it was like Davies or Moffat was like, it's going to be weird. Like, and it would have been weird to keep that going, but now I don't know. It's just I liked it. I agree with you. I liked it when there was a love interest.
Yeah, and I mean... Okay,
the Doctor should have some sexual tension with his companion.
Sometimes, but I also like the points where he doesn't, like him and Donna, where she's like, she doesn't look at him that way at all.
That was understood from the very beginning, though.
Yeah.
Like, we knew that Doctor Who, we knew that the Doctor and Donna were not going to have a relationship like that because of, and I hate to say it, but it's just because, like, of the way that Donna is.
Yeah.
You know, when she showed up. But Clara
and he was still sad from the loss of Rose.
Yeah, he was, like, emotionally screwed up by it. We saw Donna happen while he was with Rose, though, and she, like, had that one-off episode, and people were like, bring her back.
Where she came back at the end of season 3.
And she was like, I don't want to be your companion, I need to get married.
Honestly, that is probably one of my favorite episodes of Doctor...
It was with the Spider-Woman.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of literally the end of that, where the Doctor dies.
Oh.
No, wait, that's season 4.
Yeah, that's a different...
the end of season 3
was with Tennant,
when the Daleks were attacking Earth, and it was like Sarah Jane was there and her kid and K9, and Captain Jack was there and Torchwood was still there.
I thought that was with Amy.
The episode where Harriet Jones dies.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I don't know. Never mind. I lost my train of thought on that. I was going to say something about one of those episodes, but I think it was like I was going to talk about the Dr. Donna or something. I don't know. They had a really good arc for Donna as well. Whereas we haven't seen any of that happen with Clara. Clara's arc is, oh, my boyfriend died.
Well, it was good before with Matt Smith. Like, she's the impossible girl, and she's met literally every incarnation of the Doctor because she traversed his entire time.
But that's where she should have died. Like, that episode, like, where we figured that out, that was, like, her arc. And then they were like, well, let's just keep Clara going. And, like, you know, and now it's kind of, like, drawn out, and we don't really know what Clara's purpose is anymore.
I would have been happy if she left the moment the Doctor changed to Capaldi. Because I could see her character having a problem. Like, she did have a problem. She got over it too easily. I could see her completely leaving that behind. But then the Christmas episode where she not falls back in love, but she's ready to adventure with the Doctor again.
Dude, that was a pretty good episode, but at the same, like, they could have had, like, 2 episodes with Clara and made it known, like, this is too weird for me to continue doing this, and I just can't. And then that they could have easily, like, go softly into that sweet night. You know what I mean?
And then what they could have done is they could have had 2 episodes or 3 episodes with no companion.
Or with a one-off.
Well, yeah, like Kylie Minogue again.
Yeah, that was a great episode. Yeah. Or who is the guy who his son is Stormageddon? He's hosted a late show now too in America. Really? Yeah, he is pretty good. James Corden is his real name. I like that guy. Like they do a one-off like that. It's fun. Yeah. You know, I mean, they could have easily done that, but I don't know. It's Stormageddon. They were like, his name is Stormageddon. And then the horse wanted. What did the horse want to be called?
He wanted to be called something else, and he wanted me to respect his life choices. That's all I remember. Yeah. All right. So Doctor Who, I'm excited to see what happens. Yeah. I thought it was a really strong opening, but I don't think it's the strongest opening of all the TV shows that have come back. No. So we going to talk about another show? Let's talk about Limitless, which is the reincarnation of the movie. Okay. No, it's not the reincarnation. Well, it's the sequel. It's the sequel, yeah. Because, dude, I am so fucking impressed with this show. It was good. Like, it did a lot of the what did we call them before? The CSI sins. Like, I felt there were a couple where, like, the FBI chick was explaining shit to other FBI people, and I was like, okay. I know, I fucking work here. Yeah, I think that so they have that chick playing a cop or an FBI agent, and she was the cop in Dexter. She was Dexter's sister, so it's like typecasting. That's all I could think when I watched it, and I think that she's great. She was actually married to Michael Hall, who played Dexter. Yeah, and now she's clearly going to become a love interest for this other guy. I actually watched Limitless. I watched the movie after I saw the TV show just to, like, recap, because I'd seen it before, and it's cool that we're going to see Bradley Cooper in this show. We already did in the pilot. Well, he's going to be a recurring character, which is awesome. Like, that's cool. You know, it's not like, I mean, we know Bradley Cooper's not one of those actors who thinks he's too cool for TV. I mean, he just reprised his role on Wet Hot American Summer, and that's like that's not. I mean, it's a tiny fucking role. Did you know that was his first role ever in Wet Hot American Summer? So maybe there's it was also have you watched the documentary yet? No. The Making of Wet Hot. it's really funny to see like Amy Poehler and him when they're fucking young, and like that was one of the first projects they ever worked on, and it was so not typical Hollywood in terms of the way they worked on it. Like they actually lived at that camp for a month or so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was Bradley Cooper's first role ever.
Uh-huh.
I think that they were all like in a theater thing together, and it was Michael Showalter who put all of that together, you know?
Yeah.
But that, I mean, obviously opened doors. It was a cult classic, opened doors for a ton of those people.
Totally.
Everyone, I mean, now it's funny because now we saw that show and we're like, holy shit, everyone is famous.
Yeah.
It's like unbelievable. Except for, that girl Donna, that was Michael Showalter's girlfriend, was not in the first one.
No,
she was like
wasn't.
the new. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna have her show up," and
which was
like,
cool. I liked it.
It's amazing.
And
that
his Israeli boyfriend and whatnot.
It's really funny that they chose to do it as the first day of camp, and like Michael Showalter is so out of shape, and everyone's old as fuck. They were like, "Oh, well, I bet by the end of this summer, everyone's going to look 15 years younger."
Yeah,
it was really well put together. Limitless though is it's a solid TV show. The main guy,
yeah,
he's very good. I think he's like, and so watching this, there's a lot of similarities. They used a lot of clips from the movie, like when he's swallowing the pill.
Well, and the overall feel of it, like cinematically, is very similar to the movie.
The themes were pretty good.
The music gets annoying.
Yeah, but
I mean, all this high paced. Yeah,
it's very like train spotting.
Yeah.
But I could relate to that character too. I think that anyone can kind of relate to him. Like we all want to do more than what we're doing. Like, you know, many people can relate to that. And he's like trying to follow his dreams, but it's not really panning out. His dad is sick, you know, and I like that they kind of just jumped in the first 10 minutes. You're like, okay, like here we go. It's not spending an entire episode talking about how he's a fucking loser.
It really was a fast paced pilot.
It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so there's another show that's out now that's also based on a movie, and Minority Report. And I think of the two, Limitless was much stronger.
Easily.
Minority Report was good too, but
I like the premise of Minority Report.
I do too.
I feel like it's got some shaky writing and acting that kind of...
I like the guy who plays...
Dash.
He plays... I like him.
Yeah,
I think
good.
that he's
I like Megan Good too, man. I think she's great.
Yeah.
I mean, she's better than fucking Wilder Valderrama.
Dude, he
totally throws the whole show out of whack.
Like, I think that for some reason, they were like, we need to get some actor that everyone knows. And like, why the fuck would you choose him?
But a lot of people know Megan Good, dude. She's pretty famous.
You know who would have who would have done that really well is like John Doman.
Yeah.
They would have done him in Wilmer Valderrama's part. Like, you know what I mean?
He's too... I don't know.
He's done too much TV.
Well, no, I feel like their character... Like, I don't think he could play that character, John Doman.
You don't think so?
The character is like this young pre-crime cop who's like rising up the ranks. John Doman could play like the fucking,
chief.
The guy who's in charge of
See, it was my understanding that guy was like the chief.
Yeah.
He's
a lieutenant is what he is.
Dude, Wilmer Valderrama is so forgettable in that show.
I hope his character dies.
And one thing that I didn't understand is they were like, "Oh, we have like there's the pigeon is sick."
Yeah.
I was like, "What the that doesn't make any sense." They have like, they're like, "Oh, it's a pigeon disease." Like, we see the woman dying, but they don't explain how it's going to kill her or anything. It's just going to tap her or something like that.
I do like all the CGI is really good, and like they visually it looks really great.
They borrowed a lot from the movie, you know.
Well, it has its differences too. And you know what's funny is before I came over here, the movie was on TNT, so I was kind of rewatching it.
So you saw
the guy who plays the second Count Vertigo. I totally forgot he was in it. He's the doctor who replaces his eyes.
He's in so many different movies.
Yeah.
Like that guy's he's in Bad Boys 2.
Yeah.
He's in a bunch of different stuff. He's a good actor.
He's awesome.
But they used so the car is exactly the same.
Yeah, futuristic car.
Okay, one scene that like totally pissed me off about this show is Dash is like looking through this woman's personal photos and like stops on a bikini photo. He's like, yeah. And then it's like, okay, so there's clearly like, if you couldn't make it more obvious, here's like TV going sexual, like there's going to be a relationship there. Oh, he's not very good with people, and she's like overly like
good with people.
Yeah, she's like, oh, but I want to help you. It's like totally a puppy dog kind of thing, you know?
It's very contrived in terms of like, you know.
And then, I mean, You know, I'm
it.
excited to see how it turns out. It was entertaining, but I think that the whole premise for Limitless is going to be way better.
Well, I feel like Limitless set itself up for a really great first season, whereas Minority Report set itself up for a somewhat boring first season. We'll see, though.
A lot of people are saying, like, about Limitless, they were like, oh, so what the fuck? Now he's going to help the cops? Like, why would he do that? But it makes sense. Like, they're going to do a procedural...
Spoilers real quick. Spoilers for the pilot of Limitless. I have to say this now that you've mentioned it. Bradley Cooper's character tells him, like, you're going to be in a position to where you can help me, and you're going to have all the NZT you can want. What he meant was the FBI is going to be giving him the NZT.
Yeah.
And that him in that position is going to help Bradley Cooper's character on whatever sick and twisted plan he has for the world.
He's
kind of a bad guy.
He's not really. He's more like, I mean, Robert De Niro was the villain in the first Limitless.
But now he's trying to take over the world. Bradley Cooper's character.
But anyone in that position would do it. Yeah. And he's like, they're going to probably end up teaming up on some stuff or something. I don't know. If they make Bradley Cooper into, like, the villain, I'm going to be kind of upset. But we'll see what happens.
Okay, so... Is this like the new fad, remaking movies into TV shows?
Is there another one happening or what?
Okay, so NBC has ordered a Taken prequel series that's going to follow a young Brian Mills.
No.
Yes.
And it's like Liam Neeson in young people's makeup?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be like a whole new actor.
So I watched the last season. I don't really keep too current with it, but I watched the entire last season of Family Guy, and there's one episode where Peter says he can beat up Liam Neeson, and they actually have Liam Neeson doing the voice, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so I just thought that was pretty funny. He's like, I want you to go into the bathroom of the YMCA and have a man piss in your hands.
Liam Neeson is pretty awesome.
That show rags on some people so hard. Like, some celebrities, I'm surprised they don't...
You know...
Probably harder than South Park. Like, they have some real low blows on Family Guy.
You know what I think? Okay, I like both South Park and Family Guy, but I think when the guys... When Matt Stone and Trey Parker are like... kind of talking shit about Family Guy for being too much of the same and like exploiting the same jokes over and over. South Park kind of does the same thing.
Totally.
I feel like they're kind of hypocritical, but they're both great shows.
Dude,
I love them both.
The problem is that when any show's been around for that long, like they start to do that. I thought that...
Well, Family Guy came right after South Park, so I felt like...
About 3 years after.
They probably felt like, oh, these guys are... Seth MacFarlane's trying to fucking copy what we're doing.
But, okay, and then, like, The Simpsons came way before them.
Oh, yeah.
So, but The Simpsons has, like, their own thing going. I don't really enjoy The Simpsons, to be honest. That's just me. But watching the Simpsons Family Guy crossover was...
It was really good.
It was gratifying, and it was like a full hour long, and they were like, "God, we don't have anything else to talk about. We only do this for 20 minutes usually."
Yeah,
you know. So that was pretty cool. But a Taken prequel series feels like it could be good. I don't know. Aren't they doing a Friday the 13th?
It's on NBC, man. NBC does not make good shows.
They have some good ones. Limitless is on CBS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
CBS arguably has the best, like, cinematically and production-wise, CBS makes the best shows.
Well, what shows are on NBC?
I mean, Constantine, which was canceled.
But he is going to make an appearance in this next season of Arrow.
Yeah.
The same actor, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's cool. But I think, from what I heard, they're making a Friday the 13th series, which doesn't...
For NBC?
Yeah. I don't know if it's NBC, but it doesn't need to happen.
No.
It probably is NBC, because I think that's owned by Universal. I'm not
NBC is known for starting new shows and ending them a season later. That's pretty much their go-to.
Okay, so what else is going on in the realm of TV?
The Gotham season premiere.
Dude, I was so... expecting it to be bad, and I was really, really impressed.
It was okay.
I thought it was really good. Like, I thought they listened to, like, a lot of what people had to say, and...
Have you seen the trailer for, after that episode ended, they played a trailer for the rest of the season that looked really, really good, and I was like, okay, I can get behind this, so I hope...
It looks more Batman now.
It's
more like...
totally.
It's less like, oh, this is our introduction. Okay, the first, like, the guy was like, I'm Zardon. I was like, this guy's kind of a shitty actor, but...
No, but that...
Cool.
I feel like that was a really Batman thing in and of itself. Like, I feel like that's something that could have happened in the comics, you know?
I feel like Lil Bruce is now more Batman-esque, too. Like, he's not
He's still too young.
Dude, well, yeah, but I feel now, for some reason, I feel like the age difference isn't so gigantic with all the actors. Like,
why is Barbara Keene a crazy person in Arkham Asylum?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
So does that mean that Jim is going to marry Miranda Baccarin's character and they're going to have different kids or some shit? Like, what?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Because, okay, now that she's crazy like this, I don't see Jim ever marrying her. Ever.
I'm expecting
20 years down the line, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, she killed people. She killed her parents.
She's crazy.
What if she somehow drives like, or I don't know, they like transfer the craziness or do some kind of crazy TV stuff, which wouldn't be very good, but like.
Or what if him and
Batman,
Miranda
so.
Baccarin, their characters have a fictional child named Barbara, and it's also Barbara Gordon. It's just. Different mother.
Or if she kills Barbara and has to like assume her name or some kind of crazy shit like that. I don't know. Like, I don't know, dude. It's that is a problem that I have with it. But also, okay, so spoilers for the first episode. What's his name? Richard Sionis or whatever. Yeah. He died, and you were like, dude, now Black Mask is dead. I was like, no, that's not Black Mask. For anyone who's like confused about that, that's Black Mask's father. So
his Fager.
His what? His Furger? Yeah. So I feel, but like I said, I feel like the age differences aren't that crazy. So that guy's supposed to be the Joker. Like it's pretty like well thought out. Jerome is Jerome.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's good.
But I don't want to see him in like prison outfit the whole time.
Well,
you know?
Okay, so I feel like Bruce is now like 13 or 14. Mm-hmm. So Jerome is probably like 18.
Yeah.
So like a 4 or 5 year difference doesn't seem that crazy. You know, the Riddler I thought it was pretty cool. He had like this like personality split. Even though
now he's becoming super crazy.
Yeah.
But that's
not really the Riddler.
That's exactly what I thought to myself. I was like, this is cool, but it's not really like the Riddler was never schizo.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, well, I think they're doing better. The Penguin is probably the best. Like,
oh man, really?
I thought he was good, dude.
I still don't like it.
Really?
Like, I like Victor Zsasz. He's awesome, but I don't know. I feel like what's his name? The guy who plays the Penguin. Like, he does a good job.
He's becoming more of a thug.
I'll give him that. He's not bad. It's just. He's not the greatest Penguin. Like, I don't know.
For what it's worth, it's pretty good.
It's a little too overacted, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I kind of like the Penguin being like a little bit flamboyant like that, and then Butch didn't have like any lines, which I liked because I think
Selina Kyle did not have any lines.
Thank you, and
let's
keep the whole season like that, guys. Like
now she works for. Wait, okay,
that was a kind of weird thing.
She works for the Penguin now.
Wait, even like oh my god, like even the one line that she said, I was like, oh, like I fucking hate her as an actress.
Me too, dude.
She so Jim Gordon like goes through this total badass like phase, whatever. He like has to go against what he believes in, and he totally fucking pistol whips somebody, which was dope. I was like, fuck yeah. But he was like, oh, Selina, doing pretty well for yourself, and she was like, I get by. I was like, oh god, like she just can't act.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know she's a little girl and she's not that old in real life, but what? Okay, I should have been there on this casting process because whichever asshole picked her out of the bunch, I guarantee you there was someone better.
Oh yeah, for
the
sure.
amount of people that audition for shit nowadays, I guarantee you there was someone better.
Maybe it was like a matter of pragmatism or something like that,
or she had some sort of connection.
I mean, sorry, that's not what I meant. Nepotism is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but yeah, she's definitely still the weak point. The actual actor who's playing Jim and Miranda Baccarin are having a baby. They're together in real life.
I think Ben McKenzie is his real name.
I feel like he's gotten better. Oh, and his Harvey, or what's his name? Harvey Bullock?
Oh yeah,
he's like no longer a cop.
Well, which
he's a bartender.
Make any sense?
But he's a bartender, which I kind of like because
he better go back to being a cop.
Yeah, but I thought that he sucked. Like I like him as an dude. It was always this relationship between them in the police force. Like, Jim, you're crazy, man. You're gonna do this, Jim. Don't do that, Jim. Jim, what are you doing, Jim? And Jim just does whatever he wants. Yeah, you know. I'm so fucking glad.
Harvey isn't like in the comics and most of the DC shit regarding Gotham. Harvey is a pretty big character.
Yeah, but he's just a cop.
I don't like how Commissioner Loeb. like you've seen Loeb in the comics, right?
Yeah.
Like he's a huge fat bald dude.
Yeah.
And it totally throws me off the Loeb they have in the show. I don't know.
Well, he's stepping down.
Yeah.
And I thought that I straight up thought that they were going to be like, our new police commissioner, Commissioner Jim Gordon. And I was going to be like, dude, this is kind of a little bit soon for him to be like the commish, you know?
Right, he went from like disgraced detective to beat cop to fired to
Commissioner? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. But the whole part where like Cobblepot comes through and he shows up with Zaz and like has to threaten him was pretty badass.
That was probably the best scene of the season premiere.
I mean, Zaz, who was kind of a fucking mediocre character for the first season, and you're just like, this is not Victor Zaz. Now is holding a guy's head, and it was like really kind of gratuitous as far as the gore, which I liked because that's that character.
Yeah,
you know, he's a
fucked
serial
up
murderer.
Guy. Yeah,
but they've kind of taken liberties in making him like Cobblepot's thug. Mm-hmm. But if he's a serial murderer and he's like off his rocker doing his own, he kind of just wanted to kill the guy. Like Loeb, you know?
Yeah.
And Cobblepot was like, no, wait, hold on. Like, he's always thinking about business, which is very Penguin, you know? It's getting better. The tone is darker for this season.
Yeah.
I'm
excited to see where they go with it.
Now, I'm going to be, with such a strong first episode for the second season, if they start, like, tapering off and going back, I'm going to be fucking upset. I'm going to be right back to like, oh, dude.
Yeah, me too.
What other shows were there? South Park.
Let's continue talking. We've got some more DC stuff.
Okay, sure.
And then if there's other shows after that, Manu Bennett, who played Deathstroke in Arrow, and he plays Asgog the Defiler from The Hobbit, and
really?
Yeah, he was the super white orc.
Did not know that.
Yeah, the one with the missing.
Yeah,
arm.
yeah. He has like a metal like trong.
That's Manu Bennett. He was arrested at hold on one second, at Alamo City Comic-Con. He got into a fight with someone who apparently someone was talking shit to him, and Manu Bennett went after him. He went to jail for assault.
Dude, that's pretty fucking Deathstroke right there. But Deathstroke wouldn't get caught. He would have killed all the cops.
But he's already apologized and said like he shouldn't have done that. But this guy who was like heckling him, apparently Manu was trying to leave, and the guy wouldn't let him leave, so he ended up punching him in the face.
Kind of in his right to, if you're in someone's like right in their face, you know.
What's the guy who played?
He was like, Deathstroke sucks.
So Matt Nable, the guy who plays Ra's al Ghul, had mentioned he was interviewed about what happened. I guess he was there too, and he was the one who was kind of saying,
what was it, like an Arrow's villains?
No, it was a Comic-Con. Oh, the panel?
Yeah,
maybe something
Arrow
like
villains.
that. Yeah. Either way,
so he was there and he was interviewed and he had something to say about it. What did he say?
No, he was defending him, saying how this guy was an asshole and like.
Of course, he's going to defend them. They're like all in the League of
Shadows.
Shadows.
He had made comments about his not even like the guy was going after Manu's personal life, like as a real person, not as a character. And he wouldn't let him leave, and that's when Manu
he's like, Deathstroke, what's your relationship like with your daughter? He's like, don't bring up my daughter. Ravager is none of your business.
Well, and he has a son too.
Yeah. He had his whole family's dead.
He's so disappointed in
his son
family.
was like blind.
Yeah.
Well, his son actually like kind of teams up with him, but
his son
Rose fucking hates him.
Wants to become a mercenary like him. But
Rose was part of Teen Titans.
Yeah.
But what if Manu Bennett and Matt Nable are like forming their own like secret society of supervillains? And they've plotted all this, and they're like, of course, Matt Nable's gonna back him up and be like, "Oh, he did nothing wrong."
So speaking of Arrow stars, let's go to the opposite of the spectrum, which Stephen Amell and Stardust, who have been known for their rivalry within the WWE.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Starfire.
No.
Stardust from WWE.
Yeah, so him and Amell have teamed up, and they raised $300 for Emily's House, a children's hospice in Toronto.
Sorry, what?
What? What do you mean what?
They raised $300.
$300,000.
You said $300.
No, I said 300,000.
No, you didn't.
Okay, well they raised
that's why
$300,000.
I was like, whoa, wait, dude, they raised $300. Why is this a news article? Like they're like, oh, so Stephen Amell gave $300 to
right. Like he couldn't even match that.
I was about to be like, what's your fucking source? Like they both threw down $150. No one has $300,000. Okay, cool. That's a big deal.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's awesome. $300.
Yeah.
Dude. Sometimes Alex says things without like completing the whole. Oh man, that's why I was like tripping for us. You were like, dude, you totally thought that you said $300,000.
I did. Yeah.
You didn't say that.
Okay.
Maybe,
either way, they raised a lot of money.
Maybe I just didn't hear it. I don't know. If you did hear him say $300,
feel free
post
to
in the comments.
Flame Downlow'd, flame him.
Or flame Alex.
No.
Okay, yeah, don't flame Alex. He's sensitive.
Let's talk about some casting for Legend of Tomorrow. Stephanie oh god, I'm going to butcher her last name. Cornelusen?
How do you spell it?
She played...
I can't even see it. She's hot, though.
She was Tyrell's wife in Mr. Robot, the Danish chick.
Oh, nice. So she was dope.
Yeah, she's been cast as...
She was kind of too hot for Tyrell.
Valentina Vostok on Legends of Tomorrow.
She's going to be a villain or what?
Apparently she's a Soviet-era... She works for the Russians? I don't know what her deal is.
They're probably like making that character up.
No, in the comics she becomes someone called Negative Woman.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, where does it say that?
I don't know.
In DC lore, she was part of the Soviet Air Force during the Cold War. She tries to defect to the United States.
Is she a hero?
I don't know. She crashes her ship and she merges with negative energy where the Doom Patrol disappeared.
Okay, Doom Patrol is pretty dope.
Yeah, so Doom Patrol disappeared and they left behind this negative energy and she falls into it and
is
becomes
she part of the Doom Patrol?
Negative Woman. No.
I would like to see a Doom Patrol show. But yeah, she was strong. She's a strong character.
Oh, she will ultimately become part of the second Doom Patrol and even becomes the White Queen, replacing Amanda Waller as the head of Checkmate. Not sure what Checkmate is.
It's like another
organization.
Yeah. So yeah, I've actually read some Doom Patrol in Blackest Night. It was really good.
Yeah,
it was a really good read. I don't know. I'm cool with that. That just kind of, I feel like that kind of shows like if Legends of Tomorrow is successful, they're gonna have a Doom Patrol show. Like,
yeah, that could be cool.
What just happened right now? Oh, okay.
Excuse me. I had to cough, and you stopped talking to make it worse.
No, it's because I was like,
you pointed it out.
I was watching what you were doing. He like leaned over to the side, and I thought that you were gonna like yell something.
No,
you're like Doom Patrol. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So with DC news, you showed me something horrendous.
Yeah.
This is such a disappointment.
So we were excited to hear that Red Tornado was going to be a part of the Supergirl show. But now that we see what he looks... I hope it's
a joke.
No, what I hope is that this is what he looks like when you take a picture of him, but when after post is completed, he looks better?
That's not going to be the case.
Oh, man. Don't.
Dude, I can just say it right now. Like, how are they going to make that look any better?
Dude, all I know is this is it's been an invitation for Marvel fanboys to continue bashing DC, and I don't blame them, because when you look at this shit...
It looks so fucking bad.
Did someone sign off on this? Like which idiot signed off? Please tell me.
Okay, if you don't know anything about Red Tornado, they could have gone with a kind of like Iron Man looking thing, but he's an android.
Yeah.
Or a cyborg or so. No, he's an android.
He's an android.
But
built by T.O. Morrow.
This incarnation of Red Tornado looks like a Power Rangers villain.
And it looks like a Power Rangers villain crossed with... Like, okay, so if Age of Ultron had been a fan movie and they spent $100,000 on it instead of $200 million, this is what Vision would have looked like.
Dude, it's very. Just look it up. Look it up on Google, guys. But it's very clearly a man with red paint on his face
and wearing I don't understand why he's wearing shiny clothes.
It's like the dumbest costume.
He looks like if Liberace and Red Tornado crossed together.
That's true.
This is it.
That's it. It doesn't why? Okay, why? What I just don't understand is why were they like, we're just gonna paint his face red? Like, why do that?
Well,
it's clearly red paint, and he has eyeshadow on.
Okay, like, my concern is, like, isn't Andrew Kreisberg and Mark Guggenheim working on this shit too? Like, those guys know DC, so I find it hard to believe that they would think this is an acceptable version of Red Tornado. I don't know, man.
I just honestly think that, and wait, this is on CBS too, right? Mm-hmm. It should be a good show.
Yeah.
Like, in all...
I mean, the production value should at least be high.
Like, why... I don't understand. They're putting money into this. Why would they just be like, fuck it. You know, let's just do Red Tornado.
Okay,
This is very Smallville Red Tornado.
Why? Okay, first of all, Red Tornado didn't even need to be in this show. I thought it was cool that they said they were going to do it, but now that they've showed me what he looks like, it totally makes me think, just don't have him on the show.
Dude, I love Red Tornado.
Yeah.
And this is totally going to make people think that all of the androids in the DC universe fucking suck.
Yeah.
Red Tornado is like one of the strongest DC characters.
If you guys want to see some great representations of Red Tornado and his android brethren, just watch Young Justice. Like,
Season 2. Yeah. And this is all like, it's all canon. Like Red Tornado, Red Volcano, and I forgot the other two, but I forgot. Red Torpedo is another one, and I don't know. I forgot the last one's name, but they're all like, think of like Iron Man, but like 3 feet taller.
Yeah,
you know, and that it could have been really cool.
But see,
they should have just CGI'd
him being
it.
3 feet taller doesn't like.
He's like 7 feet tall.
That wouldn't have made this any better. Like the whole.
No. That's not what I'm saying, man. I'm saying him like. I don't even know how tall this guy's gonna be, but dude, he looks like a human being.
I agree, though. It should have been all mocap and all CGI for this character.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, or they could have, you know, if they would have at least had a proper costume for it, where he looks like a machine.
Yeah.
And not like...
Which isn't hard to do. I mean, I've seen cosplays better than this,
dude,
man.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I can't... Okay, so this would kind of make sense if they were like, oh, this is his... And this is... I'm being... kind of makes sense. If they were like, oh, this is going to be his his human persona where he like turns into a human being or something, but it still doesn't make sense because he's wearing this stupid fucking outfit.
Yeah.
And his face is painted red.
Like,
this is like if Red Tornado, as in his human like form, had an identity crisis and started painting his face.
But see, that's the thing. It's not like Red Tornado shapeshifts. He transfers into another android.
He transfers
that looks like a human.
his consciousness.
Yeah. So either like if he was in human form, it would just look like a human, like that kind of talks like an android or behaves like one. But,
oh no, he totally talks like a human being.
Yeah.
He's programmed to do that, to be that way. Like Cyborg helps him be more human like that, but he looks like a dude. He looks like a legit human
Either
being.
way, I think we've talked about this long enough.
Dude,
it's bad.
In Young Justice, it even like they even kind of I don't know, mention that he like Red Tornado's human form has a dick. Mm-hmm. Like who is it? Miss Martian was like, "Oh, we need to cover him up a little bit," So like this is fucking ridiculous. Hopefully, it's a joke. But it probably isn't. Like, think about the Joker with all the tattoos on him, which kind of works. That works way more.
This brings us to our next topic, which so DC Entertainment President Diane Nelson went on record to talk about why everything is separate and like opposed to Marvel, who has everything connected. And she said, "We're so talent driven. The focus on a single universe of characters with connected storylines could end up handcuffing our creators into trying to work with the same storyline or force them to hold back characters or introduce certain characters. Ultimately, it hinders the ability for someone like Bruno Heller, the showrunner of Gotham, to come in and do his thing." I totally disagree with this. Like, when you give these creators too much freedom, and I know these guys, like, a lot of these guys are geniuses, or they're masters of their craft. But with something like DC Comics, you don't just give these people free reign.
Yeah.
That's how you end up with this shit-looking Red Tornado. And the problems that Gotham had last season,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like the problems that Gotham had last season are kind of more forgivable if they start really kicking ass with this next season.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's like your introduction and it's their own thing. I don't 100% disagree with what she said. Like, I think it's okay because I don't really need to see like the on screen, like the silver screen Justice League in Arrow.
And I agree. Like everything doesn't need. I agree with her. But everything doesn't need to be connected like Marvel. But you still need to maintain
fucking
some
standard
sort
of quality
and creative control over your characters. These are DC's characters. They're not these. They're not the showrunners or the directors or the writers. They're not those characters. They belong to DC.
I'm like, yeah, I absolutely couldn't agree with that more. I'm really surprised that like someone didn't step up, like Jim Lee or Jeff Johns or Tomasi or like someone being like, dude, like this is a fucking bastardization of this show. Well, and that's not the first time that this has happened.
Okay, I think that's the model you want to go with, giving these guys a lot of creative freedom. Okay. But then you need a council of fucking people who know DC to look at each and every single thing these properties are doing and say
it's consistent and it's all like
this it speaks to the original character, or it's a true representation, or it's like
of the source material.
But even if it's not, like, I'm okay with people changing things and doing things differently because I mean, obviously, you can't just do the same thing over and over again. People are going to get disinterested.
But just don't fuck it up.
Yeah, don't make shitty... Like, honestly, like you said, Jeff Johns and all the other people who are at the head of DC and who know the characters and know the stories, one of them needed to look at this Red Tornado thing and be like... No.
Yeah.
Or if Jeff Johns looked at that and was like, okay, cool, he should be fired.
I mean,
I'm sorry, Jeff Johns.
You know what? Maybe they cut him on a bad day,
and he approved that. Like, oh my god.
Well, I mean, but either way, DC should have the power to be like, no, listen, like we got to change this up. It feels like, I mean, like you could even probably do something in post to make Red Tornado like better than that, dude. I feel like whoever did that for Red Tornado has not read any source material.
I mean, I've seen better makeup artists on the fucking the game show where makeup artists compete against each other.
Dude, I've seen better costumes in sketch comedy.
Dude,
on Mad TV.
The cosplays from Comic-Con and Dragon Con and all the other cons this year.
There's some amazing stuff.
So much better than this.
And it's just because they put the time and effort. I don't think that they really what's so difficult about that? Like, they probably spent a ton of money just getting that fucking stupid costume on that guy. Like, they could have spent $1,000 or $2,000 more. Like, do you think it was a budgeting concern?
No, I don't. With
CG would have been more expensive, but
I mean, like with this being on CBS, obviously their budget is going to be a little bit bigger than a CW show. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe they thought they're already doing too much CGI with Supergirl, so they needed to be practical effects. But it's a bad choice.
But why make it look like shit? Like, why be like, and then I don't.
Either way, we're both right. It should have been mocap and CGI to make Red Tornado come to life in live action. I mean, come on.
I think that I'm gonna withhold my reservations about Supergirl, but I've said from the very beginning that I think it's going to be shit.
Well, okay, so imagine
Jimmy
this.
Olsen is a fucking tall, attractive, like super handsome black man.
What if James Spader was in practical effects for Ultron, and he was wearing like a suit? A robot suit. Like,
I mean, dude, I think that like they've made it look really good sometimes. No. They're doing it like some practical effects for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like,
well, but see,
there's money put into that. Like, there's serious money. It's and I mean,
and there's no androids in Star Wars either.
No, but I mean, I'm talking about like they used to make the aliens in Alien look fucking amazing, and those were all practical effects.
Oh yeah.
Like you can make it look fucking great with practical. It's actually kind of almost more expensive to do it that way, though.
It can be, yeah.
And with a mixture of CG, makes it look phenomenal. You know, like, I don't see any markers on this guy's face playing Red Tornado. Like, that just really, like, pisses me off.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, what pisses me off is they added this character just to add him, because Red Tornado's never really been heavily connected to Supergirl in the comics or anywhere else.
Yeah. And so, only through the Justice League.
And so they're like, okay, let's add Red Tornado to the show, but let's make him look like shit, because people don't care, right?
I mean...
Like, do they honestly believe that the 40-year-old to 70-year-old demographic that watches CBS is going to be totally into this shitty Red Tornado?
Well, their whole like thing about Supergirl is they're trying to get younger crowds to watch it, right?
No.
Is it going to be
It's
real...
a bad place. Okay, CBS, a lot of the shows cater to older people. A lot of their demographic is people much older than
But
us.
that's, don't you think, like, from watching just the preview of Supergirl, it's going to, like, they have, like, some pop music.
It
like,
had a teeny bopper feel, is what we were talking about.
And they're they're probably like, well, we need to capture the minds of younger audiences, which is not the right way to go about it. Like,
well, and CBS is the wrong place for that.
It's, well, yeah, I suppose so.
I mean, look at, okay, so NCIS, which is the number one drama in terms of viewing numbers, most people say, like, oh, that show's for old people, or that, like, it's really, not a great show. And, okay, I like NCIS, but I agree, it's not a great show in terms of quality, but it's an okay show. And
it's a procedural.
And
you know what you're watching or what you're getting into when you're going to watch NCIS.
Exactly, but I think the reason a lot of people say that is because the demographic for NCIS is very much women age 40 to 70, So I feel like CBS, a lot of their demographic is like
I mean, but think about the subject matter, like Supergirl.
Yeah.
Do you really think, like, older people are going to be like,
No.
yeah, I'm going to watch this?
No, I totally think...
I think that younger people are going to see it and be like, I'll tune in.
I hope so. I hope it's good.
I mean, yeah, but if they're coming out to start with this, I mean, so many liberties have already been taken. It's very clear that this first season of Supergirl is going to be like, I'm discovering my powers. And there's no Superman in this like,
and I'm going to be a woman in the working world, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's totally cool.
That's great.
I'm all for women working and being equal to men, but it's like this whole show is
very PC.
Yeah.
Like, it's very... And, like, let's appeal to everyone. Let's appeal to all of our demographics. You know what I mean?
And, like, we've got, like, the sexy black dude who she's going to fall in love with. And we've got, like, the
Wait, and that's... Wait, let me just say...
overprotective boss who's going to be, like, find out she's an alien and be like, ooh, she's an alien.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, we've got to keep your secret safe with me.
And I guarantee you there's going to be one episode of this bitch being like, oh, you're an alien, and, like, trying to... like, hate on her. And
let's do a bunch of scenes that are cut together really quickly, like a montage of her trying on different outfits.
And her, like, going to Starbucks.
Yeah, she's just a regular girl. This is why I mentioned this earlier. So, her love interest, it's very clear it's going to be Jimmy Olsen. He's like, oh, hey, Clara, what's up? I'm Jimmy Olsen.
And he's a very suave, good-looking black dude, which...
Dude, it doesn't make... In the comics, Jimmy Olsen is like a dorky, young, white kid with, like, ginger kid. You know what I mean? And it's like that... Supergirl would never, ever be interested in that. Like, Supergirl, if anything, has... I think she had a relationship with, like, Nightwing.
Yeah.
Like on and off or something like that. Well, Nightwing's banged everyone in the DC universe, but Nightwing is like... Dick Grayson is a super... It's well known he's like a super attractive... superhero.
Most of the Robins have been fairly...
They have game.
They're ladies.
They've all got... Well, dude, I mean, come on, think about it. Like, Bruce Wayne is their fucking... like,
Bruce Wayne, also a ladies' man.
Dude, Bruce Wayne's been with so many different women, you know? I don't know. Who knows if he actually takes them to bed, but he's good with the ladies.
Oh, he most definitely does.
I mean, when does he have time? He's like, oh, he probably, like, the bat signal is shining or some shit.
Well, I mean, he has his nights off, dude.
Dude, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Dude, Batman? Bruce Wayne might, but Batman doesn't.
No, but Batman, he's not Batman every single night. Like, he goes to fundraisers, and he has to put up
If shit goes down, he's gonna jump out the window. And you best believe he has a suit in his car or some shit like that. I don't understand how with Supergirl there's no Superman.
Yeah.
Like, what's even the point?
And
people don't care about Supergirl like that.
Like, they could do the same thing with Limitless. Like, Henry Cavill could appear once in the first season,
Of Limitless?
No, of Supergirl.
Oh yeah, but that goes back to what we were saying. They're like, oh, it's two different things.
It's separate, and like isn't Kal-El going to be played by someone else? Which is really
that's super
disconcerting.
Fucked.
Yeah.
Don't you think that like Henry Cavill probably has the time to show up for one episode of Supergirl?
And it's on CBS. They can pay him the money. How else do you think they got Bradley Cooper to be in Limitless? It's also on CBS.
I think that Bradley Cooper is going to be a recurring thing.
Yeah.
On Limitless, and I mean, dude, it's not that much work. He showed up for like 10 minutes on Limitless, you know.
Well, he probably had one day of shooting, and that's it.
Not even a full day either. It was a couple of hours, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He probably just like nailed it.
Yeah.
And they used his image, you know, like why can't they use like the actual Superman? It's going to be so confusing for people that aren't really into DC.
And I mean, unless they're planning on doing a Supergirl movie, why can't they connect just two of the things? They don't have to connect the whole.
We don't need to see Batfleck like in
he
Supergirl.
doesn't have to be on it. But why can't the Man of Steel Superman be in it?
I think that Supergirl is going to fail. Like watching like the aesthetic, like I really do think they're gonna do a montage of her trying on different dresses.
Which is kind of because CBS is the total opposite of NBC. They don't just make shows for one season and then cancel them. You know,
who's the showrunner for this though? Is the question.
It's fucking not Kreisberg.
They said that this exists in the same in the Arrowverse though too, right?
I don't know.
Like we'll see her maybe on Arrow.
A lot of the people working on it are Arrowverse people. The showrunner is I guess it's Glenn Winter. I don't know who. He's directed Arrow, Smallville, other stuff.
Like I think that they're gonna totally bastardize a bunch of characters. Like what if they do Psycho Pirate and it's just like totally screwed?
It's Greg Berlanti and Andrew Kreisberg who are like the main writers
for Supergirl
and Ali Adler. Well,
dude,
yeah.
Greg Berlanti's awesome.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying.
Wait, you know
what?
Well,
he also wrote the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think that like I think that movie, after reading the Green Lantern Secret Origin and First Flight, it's pretty true, but the only thing that they fucked up is Parallax.
Yeah. And
Hector Hammond's head should have been enormous, and he should have been like immobile.
And it was just
maybe it was the studio though that was like, we need to make this more appealable. Like DC, the worst thing about DC is they have such great stories and so many good things going for them, and then they're like, well, we need to change this up to make this more Hollywood. Well, it's like it's already good enough as it is.
And that, like, if the studios was Warner Bros., which Warner Bros. May own DC, but it's not the same as when we talked about this a couple weeks ago. The good thing about Marvel Studios is when they're a studio that interferes, but when they interfere, it's usually for the better.
Dude, there should be like DC Studios. Mm-hmm. Like that would just make way more sense. And I mean, we still haven't seen BVS. Like, what if BVS is an atrocity?
No.
You don't think that's gonna? Well, are you saying no because you don't believe that's gonna happen?
I don't believe it's gonna happen, and I hope it doesn't. But from what I've seen of Batman vs Superman, it looks really good.
The trailer, yeah. But I mean, dude, I've seen plenty of trailers that make a movie look hella good, and then you go see it, and you're like, oh, like
that was terrible.
I was expecting so much more. For general audiences, what they're really trying to do is like, let's introduce everyone to DC. And when you do, this is all just going back to this one fucking Red Tornado thing because we're being like super anal about it. But I mean, look at like the Flash and Arrow have done really good jobs of creating these characters and whatnot. And like when you just who was the source for that photo?
For the Red Tornado one?
Yeah.
I think it was Entertainment Weekly.
Holy shit, man. So I was going to say, like, maybe it's a joke.
No, it's not a joke.
It's real.
It's real.
When you do something like that, like, you're totally fucking up one of the...
Oh, it was IGN, which is still a reputable source.
Yeah. But you're fucking up one of the characters in the DC lore. Like, that's like being like...
And then it's... Wait, okay, the subtitle of this story is, the most advanced android in the world poses a grave danger to Clara? What?
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Red Tornado's going to be a villain?
That makes no sense at all. I mean, in Young Justice, he gets his circuits twisted.
Yeah. Well, and Tio Morrow is obviously a villain. Like, he's not a good guy.
I mean, that whole storyline in Young Justice over the course of one 20-minute episode was so profound. Like, he was like, my father was an evil man, but I'm still going to care for him as he's in his deathbed. Like, Red Tornado is the very fucking much shit.
And, you know, it's got a lot of similarities to the Star Trek android Data and his creator, which is like
he even looks like him. He looks like Brent Spiner. Look at his face.
This guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like actual Red Tornado.
No, dude. The actual Red Tornado looks like Iron Man almost.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Iron Man qualities, but with the cape and like, dude, why does he have like? He looks like he's wearing a sweater. Does he
got
look like
shoulder pads?
It's got. He looks like he's wearing a sweater and he's gonna play rugby or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'll watch it, but Supergirl is like gonna. I feel like the whole time I'm watching Supergirl, I'm gonna be punching myself in the groin. Just like
we promise you guys, when Supergirl starts, you'll have our complete thoughts on the pilot when we get there.
We'll probably spoil the shit out of it, but it's gonna be it'll probably be in anger, spoiled in anger.
So let's jump into movies because we still got a little bit more to go.
Okay.
Since we're still talking about DC, apparently there's a rumor going around that a Booster Gold Blue Beetle movie is in development.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, it's probably going to be Ted Kord, which I'm cool with.
It's going to be produced by Greg Berlanti, and
not giving me much hope here, Greg. Dude.
Well, it doesn't say written; it says produced.
Dude, I think, okay, so if they just jump in and they're like, Blue Beetle is Jaime Reyes like that, it's going to be kind of disappointing for me.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think they will, dude.
Ted Kord and Booster have like such a...
And Rip Hunter is Booster Gold's son, right?
Yeah, but nobody knows that.
Well...
Like, that was like revealed in Brightest Day at one point, and that was in just one Booster Gold comic. Like, you'd really have to read the Booster Gold stuff, and
it's not... It's terribly
it's not obvious.
Interesting reads either.
No, it was good. I like the Booster Gold stuff. I mean, I read some of it. It's not something that I would really I would continue reading Doom Patrol because I thought it was really interesting. I would continue reading Titans. I love all of the Green Lantern stuff. I'm continuing to read some of the Flashpoint stuff. I think that Batman and Green Lantern and Justice League are probably my favorite ones, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because when you read Teen Titans, though, it's like so much better than reading, or just Titans, it's so much better than reading Young Justice.
Yeah. I never liked the Young Justice comics.
I read all of those, too. Yeah. All the original ones, which were way better than the ones that you checked out. You read the ones...
I haven't read any of them.
Didn't you see... When you opened it up, you saw the ones based on the show.
Yeah, the adaptation ones.
Dude, those are marketed towards kids to get them into the DC universe. And that's a big mistake too. Going back to the CBS thing, if you're trying to market to an audience that's inherently not going to really be interested in something, you have something really good going for you. For instance, Young Justice was really good as a TV show. It worked as a whole, but they were like, well, we're not appealing to enough young kids. So we're going to just cancel the show.
Yeah.
We're not selling enough toys. That's the wrong mentality, in my opinion.
Well, and that's why you get things like you watch the premiere of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
There's 2 episodes out now, and I was just going to mention that. I watched about 10 minutes of the first episode, and the editing and just everything is it's too fast-paced, and it's too aimed towards children.
And that's why it'll probably do well and stick around because enough kids are watching it, you know?
It's not very, it's not very engaging television.
Not for an adult, I'm sure.
Well,
Most of animated Marvel is not very good.
Someone I saw posting the other day on Reddit was like, I'm so jealous of my grandson, or not my grandson, my nephew. He gets to come home every day after preschool and watch Avengers Assemble, and I just want to join him. I was like, dude, Avengers Assemble is terrible.
It's not good.
It's and they could do really good jobs, making this shit work. And make it appeal to everyone. Why not have a show that you can watch with your kids? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so let's more movies. Pacific Rim 2 is on indefinite hold.
Yeah,
Guillermo del Toro is just getting fucked every which way.
I don't think that wasn't it his choice to not do it?
No. Okay, so he had a deal with Legendary Pictures, right? Legendary is fairly small compared to some of the bigger, really big studios.
Legendary Pictures does huge movies too, though.
But they've recently just gotten into that.
I thought that they've had some blockbuster movies.
The original Pacific Rim, they're behind a bunch of other stuff, but apparently something with the funding for this movie is why it's not happening.
It's probably too expensive.
Yeah, but the first Pacific Rim made $400 million, dude. That's a lot of money.
Dude, did you know Chris Hardwick is a key person at Legendary?
Yeah. Legendary owns Nerdist.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I did not know that. Their subsidiaries are also Asylum Entertainment?
Which isn't
that the shitty thing that
They make shitty horror movies.
Wait. No. This is not... Okay, no, that's not... This is a different... That's called The Asylum. Asylum Entertainment did, American Gangster and stuff.
Oh.
So it's a different thing. So what... Let me ask you this. What's, I've never seen Pacific Rim. Does it have to do
You've
with...
never seen Pacific Rim?
Does it have to do with, an alien coming out of the ocean? or some kind of monster.
They're called kaiju, which is based on I'm pretty sure it's based on old Japanese mythology. But yes, they are literally these monsters that are they're aliens, but they come from the ocean because they're transported to Earth's oceans by some sort of alien tech. If you haven't seen Pacific Rim, dude, you should watch it. It's really fucking cool.
Dude, okay, you said that, dude, no. Legendary Pictures has always done big movies.
Yeah,
2005 started with Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Legendary Pictures. Then Superman Returns, Lady in the Water.
What I meant was
Beer
they're
Fest.
they're like the underdog of movie studios, you know?
I mean, their movies make dude, they did the Dark Knight made $1 billion. Yeah, they're a small studio.
I mean, in terms of Warner Bros. And Fox and Sony,
they're owned by Warner Bros. Or they're in collaboration with them. But
dude, no, that's why Pacific Rim 2 isn't happening, because the Warner Bros. And Legendary are having a little bit of a fallout. I think,
dude, their films average. They don't have their films average over $100 million.
Yeah.
500 million, 305, $1 billion.
But they're something about them funding movies, because I've heard that the Warcraft movie they're making almost got canceled because it was going to be too expensive, and they didn't think it was going to make as much money as some of their other movies or stuff.
Dude,
like that.
they must be tripping though, because some of their movies. Okay, they have one that made $40 million in 2014, but that was, and then before that, out of all their movies from 2014, 330 million, 524 million, then 40 million, then 215 million, 672 million, 110. They have a lot of money, dude.
Yeah.
This studio has serious money pumping into it. So why would they be oh, we can't form or do how much would Pacific Rim even cost? 200 million?
Probably something like that. Yeah.
100. I mean, they're putting a lot of money into making these.
The first one made $400 million. So if the second one is just as successful, it would probably be even more so. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of.
I mean, when you think about it, the first Batman, what was it? Batman Begins made $300 million, and then The Dark Knight Rises made over $1 billion.
The budget for the first Pacific Rim was $190 million.
190. Yeah, so it seems like they could probably do it around there. First, so the Batman Begins, 374. The Dark Knight made $1 billion, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then The Dark Knight Rises made barely more, $1.084 billion. But that's if they did a really good job with the second Pacific Rim, then they could.
It could easily make $500 million
or more.
Yeah.
If it's a huge deal.
I don't know.
But
Idris Elba is also in Pacific Rim.
Who?
Idris Elba.
Oh, he's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I was just saying that I've been watching Luther. I've just finished the third season of Luther. I'm about to watch the fourth one. Their seasons of Luther are only 4 episodes long.
Yeah.
It is such a good show.
It's a miniseries.
Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy how fleshed out all of these episodes are, and so much shit happens. The acting is really legit. There's this guy who becomes the head of the task force that Luther's on. He was persecuting him throughout the first season, and he becomes the head of the task force in the second one. That guy is a fucking amazing actor.
Yeah.
There are so many actors in that show. There was one part where he was I will bring shit down on you. I was watching, I was dude, this guy is Academy Award. He could give Hopkins a run for his money.
Also in Pacific Rim is Charlie Hunnam, who's the lead of Sons of Anarchy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him. Was he in 50 Shades of Grey?
I don't know.
He had recently talked about how his experience, I think, on 50 Shades of Grey was one of the worst experiences he's ever had in a movie.
Yeah.
I never watched 50 Shades of Grey. I had no interest in watching 50 Shades of Grey. But so Guillermo del Toro is now going to do probably something else. He's backed out on every project he has. He likes to do really indie tiny horror films.
I literally love all his work. So it makes me sad that everything he's been trying to accomplish recently has gone to shit.
Well, this last one was kind of on the studio, but
well, at least Crimson Peak is still coming out. That comes out next month.
This is Crimson Peak.
Yeah.
This is on hold. Pacific Rim 2 is on hold. It's not. They didn't cut it off.
Yeah.
But, okay, so what I would really like to see, and I've said this before, is I kind of wish that he would do, a legit adaptation of Disney's Haunted Mansion.
Yeah?
It would probably be too scary, though.
With Eddie Murphy?
Yeah. No, dude, this one's going to be with Martin Lawrence.
Oh.
Did you ever
Great.
watch that movie, The Dark Knight, with Martin Lawrence?
Where he goes back in time?
And
Yes.
he's like wearing a fucking basketball jersey or some shit.
One of my favorite Martin Lawrence movies is Blue Streak.
That's a good movie.
With Luke Wilson.
Isn't he... Okay, so in that movie, isn't he a criminal? And he pretends to be a cop because he's
Yeah.
trying to get that diamond and the...
Yeah. And Dave Chappelle's in that movie. Yeah. It's a good...
I
it's
like
cool.
Martin Lawrence, man.
I do too.
The Haunted Mansion movie was just... one thing I will say about that Haunted Mansion movie is a lot of the set design looked really good. But the story and, like, the fact that they were just like, we're going to have Eddie Murphy in this, like, was really bad.
Yeah.
That was a fucking mistake. It made a lot of money, though.
So last week I mentioned that I had watched Ex Machina. You should watch this movie, man. It's like... It is probably, honestly, the only AI stories that are better than this is Person of Interest. Like, the AI... the story is so compelling in this movie, and Oscar Isaacs totally kills it. Like, that guy is probably going to be the next... Like, in the next 10 years, this guy is going to be the next... the next Michael Keaton, or the next really, prolific Academy Award winner.
Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
Has Michael Keaton won a bunch of Academy Awards?
I mean, he has, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
I mean, most recently for Birdman, I believe he won an
Oh,
Academy
yeah, that's
Award.
right.
But
before
before that, dude, Michael Keaton is like one of the most beloved actors in all of Hollywood.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Dude, people have been clamoring for him to come back to movies until he did Birdman.
Well, we talked about this. He's going to be Beetlejuice again.
Yeah. People love Michael Keaton, man.
I did not know that. Dude, he was in like RoboCop, Need for Speed, Multiplicity.
Oh, his character in Need for Speed. I talked about this last week.
And he was like real shitty.
It's terrible. I don't think that was on him. I think that was whoever wrote that movie did a really bad job.
Dude, I don't know if... Oh, okay.
But either way, I totally recommend Ex Machina. You should watch it.
He has won an Academy Award for Best Actor. I don't think that he's won that many Academy Awards. Oh, well, you know what? He's got his own Wikipedia for a number of awards that he's won.
Yeah.
He's only won one Academy Award. Or no, he's never won an Academy Award.
Really? He didn't win for Birdman?
He was nominated. He didn't win. He's won...
Okay.
He's won... What the fuck? This is so... It says... Okay, he's been nominated for 68 awards, and he's won 45 of them.
Yeah.
But he's never won an Academy or an Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's won one Golden Globe. I guess those are the biggest ones. He's won an MTV Movie Award, Screen Actors Guild, Teen Choice, Gotham Independent Film Awards.
Yeah.
They have that in Gotham.
That was a bad example, but like think of one of the most,
fucking Tom Hardy is like one of the ones right now.
What?
He's like, or Christian Bale.
Okay, yeah.
Robert De Niro.
Okay, De Niro.
Or Al Pacino.
Oh, there we go.
That's a big one. Anthony
Either way,
Hopkins.
Oscar Isaacs is probably going to be one of the best leading men in the next 10 years.
What other stuff is he in?
He's going to play Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse.
He is?
Yeah, Oscar Isaac.
Really? I saw photos of Apocalypse. It looks nothing like him.
He was in Drive, that movie with Ryan Gosling, which I didn't like Drive.
Really?
It was a total art film.
I liked it. I like Kavinsky. I liked the music in Drive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't remember much about the movie.
Because it had no story. Like, the story was complete shit.
Oh, he was in A Most Violent Year. He's going to be in Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Yep.
That's crazy.
He's playing Poe Dameron, I think, which is he's a X-Wing pilot.
I'm actually really excited for the new Star Wars now. Yeah. Kylo Ren is going to be super sick. I was watching... Okay, so there's that new Tina Fey, Amy Poehler movie coming out called Sisters.
Uh-huh.
And so many people are like, why the fuck would anybody choose to release something on the same day as Star Wars? Like, they're going to get crushed.
Well, it's Amy Poehler and
Fina Day.
Jesus.
But people were like, yeah, you think that everyone's going to go watch Star Wars? Like, it's not there.
Well, I mean... Okay, either way, Star Wars is going to outsell this movie by hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But it's still Tina Fey and what's her name?
Someone responded to that comment, though. They were like, well, we know where Tina Fey is going to be. She's going to be watching Star Wars. She's a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
From 30 Rock, at least, she like dressed up as Leia when she got married in 30 Rock.
I mean, either way, both of them are well known enough that I guarantee you even their movie is going to do okay. It's not going to be a failure.
Dude, I'm sure I don't know anything about the movie. I'm going to say like 70 million to 100 million for that movie. Okay. Maybe more. It could end up making like be a successful comedy, 200 million.
I can't wait till
like a Sandler movie.
As soon as Star Wars tickets are available for the movie Bistro, I'm going to be buying a whole row of tickets.
What?
Yeah.
You're going to buy a whole row?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because I know a bunch of people who want to go, so we're all going to go see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that you were just like implying that
for
you're going to
myself?
buy a whole row for yourself. That way you don't. I was like, dude, that's not going to.
No.
Like, that you're not going to be like. What if you just bought out the whole theater because you just want to watch it in its
By
entirety
myself?
on your own?
No, dude, you can't. There needs to be people in there so they can fucking applaud when the movie's over.
Yeah.
That's
what you. That like gets you off.
No,
you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, everybody. I mean, this is guaranteed to be a huge blockbuster. They're releasing like more tidbits of the movie as time goes on too. Like I don't know if I saw if it was like a Comic-Con trailer or something like that, but having watched that, I was like, damn, this is going to be legit.
Yeah, it looks really good. So let's talk about this. I'm going to be
turned on as I watch it.
Terrence Howard, who's he
Hustle
was
and Flow.
Hustle and Flow. He's now in Empire with Taraji P. Henson. He was originally War Machine. He was in the first Iron Man.
Yeah, that's right.
He was War Machine. So he's come out as saying, fuck Robert Downey Jr. That guy stole hundreds of millions of dollars from me.
What? Why?
So this is what he said. At first, they didn't want to hire Robert Downey Jr. for the first Iron Man movie because, he had just come off all his drug problems, and he's still one of the most expensive.
As far as insurance rates go in Hollywood, he's a huge liability.
And so Terrence Howard claims he put in a good word for him and sealed his deal to become Iron Man. And then when after the first movie and it was such a success, Terrence Howard wanted to be paid a little bit more to continue as War Machine. And apparently Marvel Studios didn't want to pay him. And so they said, forget it, you're gone. And they casted Don Cheadle. And Terrence Howard claims he asked Robert Downey Jr. to, levy for him to the studio and get him his job back. And that Robert Downey Jr. wouldn't even return his calls.
Honestly, man, I think that Terrence Howard is kind of being a little bitch about this situation because I think that, dude, Don Cheadle is kind of a more accomplished actor, isn't he? Like I
don't know, man. Terrence Howard has won an Academy Award, no?
I don't know. I think that Don Cheadle has. I don't know. He's been in some serious. Here, you look up Terrence Howard. I'll look up Don Cheadle. But I think
he's been nominated.
Don Cheadle has?
No, Terrence Howard for Hustle and Flow, and I guess Hustle and Flow was the main thing, and Crash.
I mean, Crash was a big thing.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I kind of disagree with you. If he's telling the truth and he really did solidify Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man by giving him a good
Don Cheadle is just as
successful.
He's just as legit. He's also been nominated for an Academy Award.
Yeah.
He's won Emmys. He's done. I mean, he's a legit actor. I find it kind of hard to believe because Robert Downey Jr. was also the guy that he rallied to get all of his other actors paid more in the Avengers.
Yeah.
And they got paid.
This was that was way after this.
Yeah, but what do you think? He's like, oh, I changed my mind. But I
don't
know.
No, but I believe Terrence Howard when he says that they didn't want to hire him for Iron Man.
There's a lot of things to consider here. How much more was he asking for? He was probably like, oh, you know what? I want to be paid as much as Robert Downey Jr. if I'm going to continue to do this. And Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. Yeah. They're not going to be like, oh, we're going to pay you as much as Iron Man.
Well,
You're not
in the first movie,
series.
he made more than Robert Downey Jr.
Did he really?
Yeah. Because that was the first movie Robert Downey Jr. had done after his meltdown.
Well, I mean, and that movie was a gigantic success.
Yeah.
So I'm
still the best Iron Man movie compared to the other two Stains.
At that point, they're kind of like, well, we can't continue doing this series. Like, we're not going to do Iron Man 2 with a different actor,
which is what they ended up doing anyway. You mean as
for Iron Man?
Yeah.
No one gives a shit about War Machine. Like, no one really fucking cares. That's the thing. When it comes down to
either way, I think I'm still on Terrence Howard's side on this one.
I'm on the other side.
All right, Team Terrence versus Team Don.
Flame us. I like Don Cheadle, man.
Yeah, I do too. I don't have a problem with him.
I mean, I don't know. I think that it becomes an iffy situation whenever someone starts asking for more money, and like, if it's easily justifiable, if you're carrying it on your own.
Well, I think I respect him when he says, I'm the one who got Robert Downey Jr. For them to confirm him on the role, and the movie was a critical success.
It was a huge
I should
success.
get paid a little more money.
But what did he? Yeah, sure, but. A little more, or how much did he ask for?
I don't know.
Because it was clearly enough he clearly asked for enough for the studio to be like, take a walk.
Well,
but he was probably like, I need to be paid.
Studios are super frugal, man. He could have asked for $1 million extra, and they could have told him to piss off.
Unlikely. I think that he what it probably was is he was like, I need to get paid like $15 more million. Robert Downey Jr. got paid like for what did he get paid for the second Iron Man?
I don't know.
Like $50 million or some kind of I don't know. Like
I don't think he started getting paid that until he started.
Really? Yeah. Okay. So, but he got paid a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
And I mean, Terrence Howard was like, well, and he's a supporting actor, so they're not going to be like, we're even going to pay you nearly as much as this other guy now.
I think
we'll pay you the same amount, and you'd be lucky to get that.
Either way, this wasn't like something where he's like, "Oh, I need to tell my story." Someone asked him about it. A reporter asked him about it, and so he told what he thought and how he felt he was kind of screwed out of the franchise. So I don't know.
I'm looking up what Robert Downey Jr. made for Iron Man 2. So, God, I fucking hate typing. Make for Iron Man 2.
Wait, okay, so Howard's ascendancy to Hollywood's elite was pretty swift and led him to be the first star signed on Iron Man, which would see him pocket $3.5 million with a $5 million sequel payout. So whatever, he was going to get paid $5 million for the sequel, and he wanted more. It doesn't say how much more.
I think that...
Oh, and, okay, wait, Howard agreed to take a $1 million pay cut if his producers gave Robert Downey Jr. a chance at the role. Marvel still disputes this claim to this day. I don't know.
I mean, that's pretty legit, like, that he did that. Why doesn't Robert Downey Jr. just straight up be like, okay, here, listen, I'll give you like $5 million bucks.
But see, that it wasn't about the money. He claims that he was screwed out of the money, but what he was more pissed off was that he was willing to give up that $1 million to get Robert Downey Jr. on the film, and when the time came for Robert Downey Jr. to have his back, he didn't.
Okay, so Robert Downey Jr. for the first Iron Man only made $500,000.
Yeah, and Terrence Howard made $3.5 million.
But for the second one, he was paid $10 million.
Yeah.
And so then Terrence Howard was probably like, I need to get paid, $8 million.
Like that. Dude, from $5 to $8 million, and the studio told him to piss off? That's kind of fucked up.
From $3 to $8 million.
No, it says he made 3.5 on the first one, and he took $1 million pay cut, according to him.
So, yeah, $2.5 million.
So he made 2.5, and the deal was for him to make $5 million on the sequel.
Okay.
So say it was 8, from 5 to 8, and they're like, no.
Well, yeah, but they're the way that they're looking at it is it's going from 2.5 to 8.
Well, yeah.
Instead of signing on for that, like they're still saying, okay, well, we already agreed that we're going to give you $5 million for this next movie, which is reasonable to us. You're not the star.
Yeah.
So you agreed. It was on you to take a $1 million pay cut. $1 million
but see,
pay
that's
cut?
the thing is Marvel says that never happened.
Well, maybe it didn't.
But
like maybe I
don't know.
People in Hollywood are just known for being truthful.
But Terrence Howard seems like a good guy, man. I don't
know.
know.
You're totally giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I am.
You don't even know Terrence Howard.
One guy against a movie studio.
Dude,
of course, I'm giving him the benefit.
What
of the
if
doubt.
he really did try to hustle and flow them? Like that's the real question.
So okay, let's hurry because we've been going for a long time and we've got a couple more stories. So Marvel is completely going after Fox's throat in terms of X-Men.
That's good.
They've already stated that X-Men is done. They're not making any more comics, or they're doing one more that's going to be like all the Inhumans killing the X-Men. Yeah, that's how so Marvel seriously does not want Fox to continue having those rights. I don't blame them, but.
No, I agree. Especially now, it's like they're doing Apocalypse. Hugh Jackman is leaving.
Yeah.
And Hugh Jackman's been like, okay, I think that Tom Hardy should be the next Wolverine. He went on record saying that.
Have you seen the concept art of Tom Hardy as Wolverine?
No.
It looks really fucking cool.
Look it up. so I can see it.
Well, I'll show it to you after this. But
okay, but so I think that's cool. But I think that it should be under the Marvel Studios, like, and they're they're just totally killing off.
Bryan Singer has been great making X-Men movies, except
he's been okay.
I mean,
he's been just okay.
Days of Future Past and First Class are way better than X-Men 2 and 3.
Who he also did those.
He also did those.
I mean, he's had some good ones and some bad ones. It's been ups and downs. But I
think Apocalypse will be good.
Now you're giving it the benefit of the doubt again. This is all benefit of the doubt.
Well, obviously I need to see the movie, but from the cast and what I've heard of the story, it looks okay.
I think that Marvel Studios could probably get a better, more equipped director to continue or to restart X-Men.
And then they could connect X-Men to everything else, which is like DC doesn't connect their shit, but Marvel does, and it's a really awesome quality.
I mean, and especially because they're going to have like Infinity War coming up soon, and we need Wolverine.
Yeah,
like
so Wolverine is never like when it comes to the Avengers fighting Thanos, the X-Men were never a huge part in the comics, I don't think, but with characters like Galactus and like Silver Surfer and all that shit, the X-Men have to be a part of that.
Well, I'm pretty sure in Civil War, Wolverine played a big part. Like there was a Days of.
There were many X-Men in Civil War.
Dude, Wolverine is a big part of the Avengers too.
Yeah,
like he's not just an X-Man, and like that's the way that people look at it, because we have the X-Men universe, we have Fox's universe, and then we have the Disney Marvel universe, like the Marvel Studios. Yeah, so and that's the sad thing, is a lot of people don't really even connect both of them, when in reality, I think that in Civil War, and I might be wrong on this, but in Civil War, Wolverine has to go back in time to fix things. So there's kind of a Days of Future Past thing going on.
I don't remember that.
In the comics?
I've read Civil War.
Or maybe it's Infinity War.
Yeah, I don't remember any X-Men in the Civil War comic.
I'm pretty sure Wolverine is in it. But, if I'm wrong, flame me. But
well, I mean, the most important characters in Civil War have always been Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Captain America. Those are the three main characters of Civil War. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So Bryan Singer is also announced another movie that he's making. He's writing it. It's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, based on the book by Jules Verne. I don't know. It could be cool.
Yeah, haven't we? Wasn't there like a
in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Didn't they have Captain Nemo?
Dude, I was looking up Wolverine Back in Time on my phone, and I typed Wolverine Back in Town.
Yeah,
like that sounds like a terrible fucking movie.
It sounds like if CBS were to make a show about Wolverine, it would be Wolverine Back in Town.
Wolverine's back in town.
Yeah, so 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Bryan Singer.
I would like to actually see if this is a success. They should do like do you remember that the Time Machine? They did it with like Guy Ritchie, or I don't know if it was Guy, or who the fuck was it? I don't know. They did a remake of the Time Machine in like 2006 or 2007.
I don't think I saw it.
It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But it would be cool to see something like that transcend. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is awesome.
Yeah.
Captain Nemo is kick-ass.
And the Nautilus, which is like one of the coolest submarines there ever fucking was. So yeah, that's pretty much it for movies. We have a couple video game stories, just two. So have you heard about this? The Screen Actors Guild and the branch that focuses on voice actors. I don't know if you've heard about this, but a lot of the voice actors have signed a petition, and this includes video game voice actors, animated show voice actors. There might possibly be a voice actor strike.
Really? What's going on?
Well, I mean, a lot of big names have signed it, and they might strike very soon. We'll find out probably next week what's going to happen. But it could mean bad things for the video game industry. Basically, a lot of game developers have said that these, have spoken out saying that it's kind of unfair what these voice actors are trying to do.
How is that?
Well, okay, granted, they are like the lifeblood of the video game in terms of their performances. Like, if they give shitty performances, the game could suck, you know?
Yeah.
But those voice actors come in and work maybe, a couple weeks on a game, and the game developers they put years of their lives into one game, you know? And a lot of the developers don't even see royalty checks, and it's kind of... and now it's like the voice actors are like, oh, we want a bigger cut, you know?
Okay. Really quick, I rescind my statement about Wolverine going back in time. I looked it up and it does not exist.
Yeah.
That was Days of Future Past. Okay, my bad. So the voice actors, there's quite a bit of work that they put in on this stuff though.
I'm on both sides. Like, I understand the voice actors, their performance is really important, but it's not as important as the developers who slave away for 6 years or 5 years on a fucking game, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think that it kind of... Voice acting it's a big deal though too.
It is.
Like that's an issue that I have with that. I know we're talking about video games, but the Guardians of the Galaxy, like the voice acting is nothing like the actual characters. Mm-hmm. Like Peter Quill sounds like I don't know, dude. He doesn't sound right. Rocket Raccoon is like way too like, hey guys, like what's going on? Groot sounds pretty good, but the other guy who played Merle in Walking Dead, and he plays. God, I forgot his name.
Michael...
I don't know.
Michael Rooker.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't remember what his character's name was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Yondu, yeah. Okay, yeah. So he's in the first episode of that, the animated Guardians of the Galaxy, and he talks like this. He's a very Creole, like, you know what I mean? Like,
which is like, okay, so Michael Rooker just used his own accent to play Yondu.
It's like, don't you think that they should...
It's very Southern, but it's not Creole.
Don't you think that they should have tried to make it as similar to the movie as possible? Like, the reason that people are watching that, you know, is because they've seen the movie. Well, and realistically.
I agree. Voice acting is super important. If you take something like Hunt the Truth, which is an entire radio drama.
So you've listened to more of it, and you took the time to message me.
Season 2 started this
week.
You were
like, holy shit, it's so fucking good.
It is so good, man. Like... honestly, I can't even tell you how good... Like, the writing and voice acting is some of the best I've ever heard.
It just feels like you really have to love Halo.
No, you don't.
Okay.
You could totally... A lot of people have just jumped in and...
Do you listen to it while you're driving?
No. Fuck no.
Why?
I listen to other podcasts while I'm driving, but...
How do you listen to it?
What do you mean?
Do you just like sit on your couch and put it on like a record player? Like, do you own records?
No, I have it on the phone.
That's
these
what
devices that.
Yeah, but I imagine you listening to like radio, like one of these
like
things,
out of an old tube radio with like,
like you tune it and sit down there with a glass of brandy.
No, it
and
doesn't
listen
actually.
to Hunt the Truth.
The show doesn't actually air on the radio.
You're
it's
wearing
podcast.
a bathrobe and you're like next to your fireplace.
Yeah, totally.
Do you even have a fireplace at your home?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's totally feasible. I don't know, man. I think that voice acting is a big deal, and all these guys want to get paid more. Is that what the whole thing is?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, what's more important is like the video games looking and
well, even
being phenomenal.
Okay.
Like,
so you
Final Fantasies used to be awesome, and there was no voice acting.
Exactly. You could have the greatest voice acting in the world, but if the game is programmed by shitty fucking people, it's gonna suck.
It's kind of a thing that comes down to like what's more important in the end.
Well, and then I kind of feel for the game developers who are kind of miffed by this. They're like, oh, these guys are asking for more money. I worked for I made $100,000 this year, and I put every ounce of my energy into this game.
Is that your new word?
Miffed?
Yeah.
It's a word. What are you talking about?
No, is that your new word? Because you've said it like 10 times in this episode.
No.
You're like, I'm miffed about this.
No.
George R. R. Martin was pretty miffed.
He was.
Are they going to make a game? Do you ever think they're going to make a Game of Thrones game?
They already have.
Oh, they have.
There's a Telltale one.
No.
You mean like an actual
Like,
game?
I'm talking about like open world, like Witcher status kind of.
No, I don't think so.
That would be kind of cool.
It would be cool.
Like, I would be...
If anything, they need to do it after the books and movies, or the books
show.
And show are done.
What if they're going to make a... Game of Thrones as a movie would probably work. Not like what we've already seen.
They could finish the series in a really badass
like a
movie.
3-hour-long epic movie.
Yeah.
I would... But still, that's kind of not even gratifying enough, because each season of Game of Thrones is, 10 hours?
Yeah.
And they're barely, like, covering over a lot of the stuff. I mean, I think that's enough about these voice actors, but if you're
one less video game story. I got to play the Rainbow Six Siege closed beta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that online or something? Or
what do you mean?
Is it like an online game?
I played it on Xbox One. Yeah, it's mainly multiplayer.
Okay.
It's like it definitely is a real throwback to some of the old Rainbow Six games. Like, it's really fucking hard. I get hit. It's one shot, one kill.
Like so, you get shot in the knee.
If an enemy shoots you once, well, like
headshots, you die. Obviously.
Headshots are instant kills. Well, right?
Isn't that usually the case?
Well, it's more realistic as opposed to like Call of Duty, where you can get hit by like 50 bullets and still be running around.
Dude, okay, well, there's like an ongoing meme about this. In Call of Duty, you can get like stabbed in the leg and die.
Yeah. Well, but either way, this game is awesome because it has like each map is destructible. Like, it's called Rainbow Six Siege. So like the main mode I played was called Terror Hunt, or short for Terrorist Hunt.
Terror. Okay.
So you and 4 other people, right? You're like a SWAT team. You're special forces, and you land in and you've got to assault this compound.
It's like Payday.
No.
Okay.
You got to assault this compound where the terrorists are hiding and they're building a bomb. The bomb is about to go off. You got to stop them, right? So all of the different the different operators you can play as have different. Like, one guy has a sledgehammer, and you just fucking sledgehammer through walls.
That's realistic.
It's pretty fucking awesome.
This guy's gonna like bust in with like a 40-pound sledgehammer. Is he like a super buff? Like,
okay, so
what I'm envisioning is probably different than what it actually is.
So say there's terrorists on the other side of the wall, or you need to cut through a wall to like sneak around. Then the guy with the sledgehammer comes and breaks down the fucking wall. You know, it's pretty badass. Like, all the walls are destructible. A lot of the game area is destructible.
It's like that other game that we talked about but it looked like ridiculous.
Oh, Crackdown?
Yeah, where everything was different colors because everything was held on or stored on a different server.
Yeah, that's a totally different game. This is like a first-person shooter, you know?
Okay. Well, the other one's like a third-person shooter, right?
No, it's like a third-person adventure game.
Crackdown?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Crackdown is really its own thing. It's kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you enjoyed playing this?
Yeah, I've played like 15 or 20 matches. It's fun.
Are you going to continue to play it?
I probably won't buy it when it comes out. It's kind of disappointing. It has no campaign or anything. It's only the multiplayer modes.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of money to be made off that game. Like,
well,
someone's going to get really fucking good at it and start doing competitions.
No, it's not going to be MLG. Rainbow Six has never been MLG. The new Halo coming out is going to have some serious MLG stuff going on.
Why would this not be MLG, though?
Well, Rainbow Six games have never been like that.
I mean, but this one's only got this like dynamic going. Doesn't it kind of make sense?
Well, I mean, Rainbow Six has always been that way. No, it's never been like an MLG.
See, I know nothing about this, so I'm sorry if I get miffed.
No, it's all good.
I'm not getting miffed.
Don't get too miffed. Well, that's our show.
Are you PC, bro?
It's time to leave.
Woo! Thanks for...
Did I just hear you say illegal immigrants? They're called undocumented immigrants, bro.
This new season of South Park is really good too, guys. You should check it out if you haven't done it yet. It's all free to watch right out at South Park Studios. So.
If you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to go on iTunes and leave us a review. It'll be most appreciated. We'll read your review out on the show. If you want to tweet us at Macro Records and use the hashtag the Macrocast so we know you're talking about the show.
If you're miffed, make sure to do that. Flame us.
Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/the Macrocast, and drop us a like, drop us some comments, feedback. We'll also read it out on the
whatever
show.
You please.
Yep. Download, things to plug.
I'm Downlow'd. That's DOWNLOW''D. And you can find more information about me at facebook.com/official download. Tweet me at Downlow'd. That's DOWNLOWD. Let me know if you need to flame me, especially about that X-Men thing that I said earlier happened and it totally didn't happen. If you're super miffed about that, either way. Also, my music is on soundcloud.com/download, so be sure to check that out. I'll be posting some new stuff soon. I'm actually in the process of working on 3 different EPs right now, so that's why you won't hear anything posted from me in the near future. But I'm working on a bunch of different stuff, some really, really quality stuff I think you guys will enjoy. And check out my Instagram. At Instagram, it's just at Downlow'd. And drop a comment or shoot me a photo or whatever. I don't have Snapchat yet. One day I will, though. I'll set that up. But as for right now, if you want to send me something, you can just direct send me that on Instagram or tweet me. And thank you guys so much for listening. We've got the Oscar Green.
No, that was at the beginning.
Oh.
Now you're going to hear the Crystal Vision remix of LSD. The first remix EP featuring Oscar Green
Crystal
Vision, and the original mix is out today exclusively on Beatport. Go pick it up.
And
that's it.
Listen to it.
See you next week, guys.